Did I do it?
Nope. I gave you a 2-minute extension.
What?
That's it. 2 minutes.
But you made me talk about your kid for like 20 minutes.
I know. So I gave 9 minutes of total, so 39 minutes.
I don't think that's fair.
39. You still have 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Wait, so I haven't lost it?
You haven't lost it yet. You have 1 minute and 35 seconds. Hello, YouTube. Now that we're live, the Phil's Full Bar Challenge is already in effect.
Stupid challenge.
You don't have to. I will tell you, the first one.
I really want that candy.
The first thing that's up is a crispy M&M's.
Ooh, it's way better than peanut.
Really like peanut M&M's?
Not really.
I like peanut M&M's.
How do you like peanut M&M's?
I don't mind peanuts.
What?
I don't like peanut butter.
What?
And I don't like nuts in a lot of things, but I don't mind peanut M&M's. They're extra crunchy. There's no logic. Don't try to solve it. You have 53 seconds.
You need to get over this peanut butter thing. It's stupid.
49 seconds.
Oh my gosh, I can't get the timer. Where's the timer?
36 seconds.
Stupid thing.
Check.
Check. Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I just got a candy because I started the show in time.
And I'm Phil Vecchio. I have 5 seconds left.
There you go. I did it.
Phil's Full Bar Challenge started before the show tonight. Here's the alarm.
I'm still starting too late. We need to do better next time.
Well, I gave you, from the time I came over, I gave you an extension because we were talking about stuff, but I wound up giving you 37 minutes to get started. And you came in with 5
like too many
seconds.
minutes.
I did 30 when I came over.
There's a huge, definite room for improvement.
There definitely is. But for tonight, I'm allowing it. And here's your crispy M&M's. I'll slide those across the way here.
Okay. Oh, they're in a green package.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird.
Although
those, when did they bring those back? That's a relatively
newer thing. Yeah,
definitely newer. Because, like, very new. I wonder if Benson knows. Because I know that's his thing.
It was in like a big mega.
Do they still make the? Because they brought back minis a while ago.
Yeah, but I think pretzels are gone now.
Oh, what?
I haven't seen them in a while. I mean, maybe they're just rotating.
Pretzel M&Ms are like
those
are the best ones.
Yeah.
Those are like the best M&Ms ever made.
Yep.
I love peanut butter too, and we were just talking about how weird you're no peanut butter. Seeing as how you like peanuts, this is your mom's fault.
I like peanut M&Ms.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's totally different than peanut butter.
But they taste like peanuts, and peanut butter just tastes like peanuts.
No.
If you can eat a peanut, you can eat peanut butter. It's your mom's fault. It's just because it's just your squishy sandwich.
It may be, but it's deep in my brain.
Dude, peanut butter is so good that it's worth like going to some kind of hypnotherapy or something.
Peanut butter hypnotherapy.
Something, because you're missing out on so many things. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh. Just the fact that you just, that is just so weird. That's why you would love China, because they don't have any peanut butter anything there.
That's wonderful.
I know, for you. They also don't have deodorant, so you just have to bring deodorant.
All right.
And your own toilet.
I don't have I definitely need to bring my own toilet, yes. I have definitely everyone's got their own thing, but I don't get BO very often. That's kind of one of my things.
Do you just saying that because you think that, or do you know that?
According to Janelle and others,
bathe every day.
I bathe every day, but I don't wear deodorant every day.
So do you not have sweat glands or different
sweat
glands?
Because if I don't bathe, like if I skip a day, like it's there.
Oh yeah. But
if I bathe every day,
the thing with Chinese and no deodorant is because like their sweat doesn't smell or something.
Oh, I don't know.
It's some weird thing. I remember I asked about this, and now I don't remember. And because it's something about their sweat.
It could be. Also, like if I exercise a lot, then I get stinky if I'm not wearing deodorant.
But like I don't know, because again, like I thought I was gonna get there, and then like everybody was gonna, and like they don't.
But see, I sweat a ton.
But it's like a difference.
Maybe it's because I sweat so much. Maybe it's just the volume.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Because it's a constant flow.
It's cleansing it. Because it's a river.
Gross.
It's a river.
It's so gross.
But it's a not smelly river, as far as I can tell.
It's currently raining outside.
Yeah, again, more.
I don't know. I'm just like, what if this is it? What if the rain stops and then it's Mad Max time?
Or what if this is the new normal and we're like Portland South?
I'd be fine with that too, because then
never stops raining.
Here's the thing: if it doesn't stop raining, we're really gonna have to invest in our infrastructure here because I am convinced. I feel like any day now I'm gonna get a flat. There are so many potholes everywhere that, like, especially because San Bernardino already is horrible because the city's bankrupt, and so they seriously. I don't think they've done road work in San Bernardino anywhere in like 5 years.
Right.
Like there are certain roads that you don't even go on. Like major boulevard, like Highland Avenue, like the major thoroughfare is just like potholes. I've hit some like. I've been like convinced that I broke my car just because you'd be driving. Just it's so bad. But even here, it's getting bad.
Yeah.
Like there's in the press monitor or whatever our paper is.
The local paper.
All the letters are like potholes. We need to spend money. It's so bad. The roads are getting bad. Sinkholes. There's like crazy.
Well, by the kids' school, and they filled it. So they're doing some.
Well, yeah, because they have the money here. San Bernardino doesn't even have the money. Although supposedly they're getting ready to like be able to like they're not like the Rob Lowe like character in the San Bernardino.
He's coming.
He already came, and now he's like ready to leave.
He's
apparently,
literally already here.
He's already like they've done the restructuring.
Okay.
I think they're out. They have their plan to get into the black is like working.
Okay.
But things are still rough, and that's also part of the reason why crime is so terrible, because like the police is like a skeleton crew. But thankfully like the schools are doing all right because they like all those like the spending measures, like just the way money is allocated. And I still have a job, so that's good. Although there's talk of a strike on our end.
Like, what are you? You're not in the teacher union.
I'm in the California School Employees Association.
Okay.
And the district, I don't know what's going on because it's very annoying. I actually phone called people.
Okay.
Which I hate calling, but it's very upsetting. Like, so they made an offer. We're like, okay, well, we just got to like run this by our people. And so we did. And then when we went back to like finalize it, the district's like, oh, never mind. Oh. And we want to do like all this bad stuff now. And so we so now negotiations of like,
oh no,
like we were about to finalize a deal.
So that's like,
and I don't know what they're doing, but like I think they're trying to like, well, yeah. And I think they're trying to strong arm us into like taking. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I definitely know we cannot sign this deal because it's like it puts like a 2-year freeze on like our raises and like some other things and like yeah. But I also know that if we go on strike, like I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, how does that work?
I think I get strike pay, which is not full pay, and then you have to like pick it and stuff. And I don't think I'll be able to pay my bills on the money that
strike pay. I
don't know how that. I'm kind of freaked out.
I've never struck before.
Well, I was reminded of it because Janelle talked about the time she worked at a grocery store.
She wound up just leaving.
Well, and then I'm like, but you can't leave the district because then I'd lose all the like the perks and the seniority and all that other stuff. So I don't know how that works. I hope they figure things out because the teachers just got a really good thing. So maybe that's why they're like, well, now we gotta like, I don't know, like, because we're not even trying to get exactly what the teachers got, but something along the lines.
Right.
And like, but definitely not like now they're trying to push this like backwards thing when it's like, we know we have like, it's not like we have money. Like, we're not like, there's a freaking like, there's so many open jobs. Like, there's no there definitely is money. There's a budget. We're not like in some bad thing. Maybe, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that they're like freaking out because again, like there's been an administration change on a federal level, but that shouldn't, I know there is a lot of uncertainty, but the way schools are run, everything's still pretty solid in California,
right?
Because we don't get a lot of federal money already, and our state money is good, and we're golden, and like schools are governed. I have learned that a lot of people don't understand how school systems work through all this. Like, people are convinced, they're like, Betsy DeVos is going to do all this stuff. I'm like, she can't do any of that. Do you even know what the like Department of Education does? They basically suggest policy. They can pass policy, but like very basic policy things.
Yeah.
And then they run the student loans, which everybody should be freaking out about that.
Should be worried about.
But nobody is, because I don't think people don't know what the Department of Education actually does. Department of Education does not control your schools. They can't open or close schools. They can't do anything with schools. Schools are run by the states, by the counties, by a school district, by the people in that school district who elect the school board, who control the state, controls the curriculum, with federal guidelines, but it still comes down to the state. It's one of those things that if you are a true Republican, you should be happy that this system is in place, because it is truly the most local thing and controlled by local. One of the few things in our government that is truly controlled at a local level. Yeah. This has been Brendo's civics lesson for today. So with that being said, I think, because I have heard that people are freaking out like at a higher level because they don't know what kind of federal, like, because it is pretty clear that somehow she's definitely going to try to like dismantle the public school system, because she is in favor of of charter and privatized schools. And I will not address that because that's a whole other thing. But because of that, I think maybe they are being cautious and like things, but there's no excuse for what is going on with this. And so we'll see what happens. I'm a little freaked out, but it's still a little early. We were just talking about, speaking of strikes, that there is talk of a writer strike. Yeah, which is bad on multiple levels. I talked to a person well in the know, and they said that right now it seems to just be in the like trades where they're talking about that, and he doesn't like his actual union members are still kind of like not sure, and it almost seems like the union is using the trades to stir up. Oh, okay. Like that's what he thinks they're at right now, but things could very quickly escalate. So right now it's kind of on the cusp. Okay. But it's pretty from on a low end, like production, like 9 to 5ers, like people that make less than 100,000, like regular working people, like if they have another writer strike, like it could destroy the whole industry. And not that it's like people, but that's because, but like unions have been so stripped of their like, and I think to a detrimental level, like you can tie the like point where the working man kind of stopped, like where our like, you know, how incomes have basically stagnated, that pretty much directly coincides with when that, what was it, like 1982, like when Reagan intervened with the it was the air traffic controllers, that big thing that basically, once that happened, when like they were able to bust that strike, then like that's it for strikes, like that's it. And then like, and now now you have the like right to work laws and things like that have basically like, so now, and ever since then, like our, like the normal people's income is basically leveled off. And I'm not trying to be controversial. That's why I'm staying on the like, these are facts and these are, you know, and like interpret them how you will. But like, so, but I mean, like, I think, so we'll see what happens. And for a selfish, we did talk about like, people, it could be bad for people losing their jobs, but also we saw what the last strike did to our it changed the landscape of television. There were certain shows that like it killed shows. Strikes are show killers. And it also, it changed the way television, like, but I feel like before that writer's strike, we didn't really have those mid-season breaks that are like pretty much standard practice now.
Right.
We like
You
TV,
just kinda
it totally
through.
restructured, but because the big show, like because it was like a forced. Some shows never came back that season. Other ones had that super crazy hiatus.
Yeah, short
and
seasons.
like, and then you think about like how, like, and like one of the big shows at the time that kind of led the way with all that was Lost.
Yep.
And but it also, that whole thing kind of messed up Lost's whole story structure.
Yeah.
And it's some people, there could be an argument that like it never recovered after that whole thing.
Well, definitely a lot of people jumped ship at that point.
And there were other shows again that just got ruined.
Well, I think Heroes was a victim of that.
Oh my gosh, Heroes will definitely, that killed Heroes.
I mean, absolutely,
because they never got their groove back after that.
Season 2, right?
Yeah, and season 2 is where it all just kind of collapsed.
I still haven't watched past that.
You shouldn't. Don't
That's what
do
I've been
it.
told, so.
Definitely don't, because again, I hate watch that show because there were a couple times like I think they're getting it back, like when they brought back Brian Fuller like behind the rail, and then like he gave up after like 5 or 6 episodes because he's like, this ship is. It's not like, but then they kept it going for like a whole other season and a half. And I'm like, and I don't know, it was so crazy, and I was still watching, and I was so mad the whole time.
You hate watch the whole thing,
and I don't understand what happened with that, because that first season is so good.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. It's
and
like
then
a perfect
and then
season of television.
and then the setup and the second season is also so good, because then they brought in that dude, the dude Sark from like, and he was so great. But then they ended up having to basically abandon that guy's whole storyline and other things. And it's still, I mean, the number one thing that I complain about that. Oh yeah, I never watched Heroes Reborn either, just because I'm not getting fool me once, shame on me, man. That was 100%. I don't care if it was good. I obviously wasn't, because it
didn't last long.
Quickly died, and nobody talked about it.
Reborn and then re-died.
Well, because it was an event. I know. Yeah, it was definitely an event. But
it was like let's test the water and see if people are still into this. Yeah,
because I think everybody's like. That's the thing, like with like now that like X-Files, and we're gonna see so many of these things, and I feel like for every one good one there's gonna be like 10 bad ones, and it's gonna be so rough because I'm gonna get excited about some things. Like I've heard there's like crazy things like that being talked about, like being brought back or try like of TV shows. Now that TV shows are in reboot territory because certain things have worked, and and as much as I didn't like X-Files, it was a huge success for them.
Yeah.
Like, and then like, but Gilmore Girls, like the Netflix stuff, Fuller House, and that's but Girl Meets World, like, which is ending, but they still had like and without that we wouldn't have had Fuller House. Like we absolutely would not have had Fuller House, and now they're talking about some other things, and like. I feel like but I'm also like terrified of what's gonna happen, because there is that like such a potential for failure. Because I'm like, I feel like we might get like Saved by the Bell. I feel like we might get 90210. Oh, there's lots of rumblings.
I feel like I've heard rumblings,
and I'm terrified. But I'm also like, I'm gonna give it a shot, absolutely. But like, it could be so bad.
But 90210 already did like a second series. So
yeah.
I mean, they've proved they can
and
do
they've
that.
done it. And but like this would be like the real team, like because they kind of continued the old story in the new one, but a lot of people don't count that, including Lizzie and Kat. Like they constantly are like, that's not canon. And every time they do, a little bit of me, I cry a little bit inside, because I still consider it. But they did do some goofy stuff, like, and some very controversial things, with the old characters. And then once they realized that, like, they had like the goodwill with the old audience, once that was over, they just like never brought up all those people again. Like once like Kelly was like the last one, and then she was gone, and then for the next 3 seasons, it was basically just their whole new show. Like they even got rid of the parents because they realized that wasn't working out either. Which was sad, because Mother Bluth was awesome on the show. And then all the adult figures disappeared. And then they also did the goofy thing where like these people are freshmen in college, but they like don't really go to school anymore, and they also can all drink freely at like, I'm like, they must have the best fake IDs in the whole world. And because I'm like, these are supposed to be 19. I don't think any of them are going to school. They're all like entrepreneurs and independently wealthy people, and like, and it was just so.
Like it was when we were.
Yeah, because when I was 19 in college, that was my life. Like it was so bonkers.
I started a record label in college, but it was from collecting pennies by
and that time that we like did a show with like Snoop Dogg,
and
like
I remember that
signed
too.
major label and went on a giant national tour.
Hey, we were close with Sixpence there.
Yeah,
that was our closest to that.
I mean, yeah, we did almost do a show with Sixpence and the Richer at the height of their popularity.
Yes.
I bet you we could do a show with them now for a lot less.
Probably a lot less.
Although probably the same with inflation and everything, and probably the same
price.
Probably the same exact price. Yep. Which probably it seems about. Oh, did you hear what we're getting for the Ukaipa Music and Arts Festival?
It's like a crazy lineup.
Well, you hear why? Because they tour as a package. This is genius. It's like the modern rock tour. So it's like 1998 in a box.
Yeah.
Because it's Marcy Playground, Fuel, and Candlebox. Who's the fourth one?
There's one other one. I can't think of the other one. It's another like quintessential 90s.
I am super pumped. Like I am super pumped for this. But because you hear why they almost didn't do it, because I was so excited about this just because I'm like, first of all, I want to be on the booking committee for this because it sounds awesome. Because like they have a pretty decent budget. Because like we got some big bands here. We had Flock of Seagulls in Berlin. I mean, come on now. I mean, like, so we're getting these bands and it's
who is that fourth one?
I don't know the fourth one. I forgot. It's another one of those like 90s.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited. But the town wasn't at first the one objection, and I guess it is. They're like, this is going to attract a whole different crowd of people, which is true.
It is, but again, like the pinball thing, it's a crowd of those people who are our age now.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking about like street toughs of today.
Yeah, but I think they're because it is going to attract us. It's definitely going to attract a slightly younger crowd than the normal because they've gone like
they went like 80s before.
But now we're going like late 90s.
But I mean, again, like the people who that's our age people. Like we're not talking like crazy. They're not getting, I don't know.
Fuel's the one that in my hair, girl. I'm so excited, and because I like they're all those. Marcy Playground was the Sex and Candy song.
Yeah.
And then like Candlebox, they had like that one. They had like one hit. I can't
remember which one they're. I know the name, but I don't remember.
But they were all those bands. Like I never. They're one. First of all, they're the one song. They're always in dollar bins. I never owned their CD, but you always saw it everywhere.
Yeah. And you always heard those songs. Places.
In my hair. And they all sound kind of the same.
Janelle and I had like this long running like kind of joke fight. That Sex and Candy song, I told her it was Eagle Eye Cherry, and she would get so mad. She's like, it's Marcy Playground.
Eagle Eye Cherry is that Save Tonight.
I know, but for whatever reason, that was just so funny to me, and we would argue for like endless hours.
I got to find out who that last band is. But I was so excited because it got approved. Because I almost didn't think they were going to approve it.
In the newspaper, also, there's a big argument about like what color the flyers should
be. That's still ongoing. That's in this article. So they're spending. So it's So like these guys, I think it costs like $50,000 to book like all these guys.
They're gonna get a lot of people coming to town.
Oh, Dishwalla. There you go. Dude. Those are the that's the oh crap, what was their song? Everything falls apart. Coming back to get it from. These are the bands you all get confused together.
I know all those songs. I don't know who did them.
Yeah, dude, I'm stoked because it's gonna be free. I can walk to it.
Yep.
Because it's gonna be right up the street.
Right up there.
Yeah, dude, I'm stoked. I'm really stoked about this. And then their lesser bands got like
$8,000.
But this is genius on these guys. They're all like, we probably couldn't book a gig by ourselves, but as an affordable like package, because this is like the state fair package. Like you get all these bands, you have 4 bands.
No, it's totally genius, and you're right. Like any one of those individually would have been like, oh, that's
no
weird
way
that they got Fuel to come out, but the 4 together, you're like, oh, it's like the 90s.
Yeah, it's all in one thing.
And between them all, you've got at least 4 songs,
Yeah. I'm super excited. So that's happening.
Type of Music and Arts Festival. You guys should come out.
It's in May, right?
I think so, yeah.
May 5th.
To May
through
7th.
Sunday, May 7th. Ooh, and we're getting this country music guy also.
What else is we're not doing something on those days? That's not the.
That's Cinco de Mayo.
All right.
No, May 13th is the Ontario.
Okay, good.
Comic-Con. But hey, we got some mail. We got as you said, the Phil's Full Bar Challenge.
So the first one was we had to get started.
Okay.
Now the second one is we got till our 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We're 21 minutes in.
Okay.
The next candy bar on the line. Let's see, what do we have? Well, we got a Snickers Crisper.
Ooh, I like those.
All right,
those are new.
These are the ones they had at somewhere that we were. They gave a bunch of them out.
Disney.
Yeah, that's right. No.
Yeah.
LA Podfest. Remember they had these there?
Oh, yeah.
And Todd Glass.
Todd Glass did his whole.
This is the Todd Glass.
Todd Glass recorded a free commercial.
For Crisper.
Which, honestly, we should send that to Snickers. Because it was a very cool. I mean, it
was authentic.
Yeah. Speaking
of authentic, I'm super excited about our mail tonight.
Yeah. So we got a. This is like really cool. Okay, so this is Mark Kalmbach, who's also an illustrator.
Yeah.
Which he made some fan art of us. It's very humorous.
And it's posted on
It's on our Facebook page.
On the page, right?
And it's Kalmbach because he has a Facebook page for illustration. So everybody should go like his page. And there's a link to it. We shared it on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
So if you go to the Radio BrendoMan Facebook page, you can
super great.
You can see it, and you can like his page.
Luke and Audrey, we showed them the picture, and they said that they want him to do a webcomic starring
the Phil and Brendo Adventures.
Style. Yeah. So, if you're listening, Mark,
the Phil and Brendo
comic,
we'll give you our authorization.
Yeah, we'll tell you some good stories.
All right. So Mark writes, "Dear sirs, in a desire to catch up on your podcast, I decided to start back at the beginning and work my way forwards. I possess ample time at work during which I'm able to listen to podcasts."
That's good because you're going to need a lot of time to listen to our back catalog.
Does he say this here? Because I don't know where he said it, but he found our podcast by typing.
Yeah, he says it in there somewhere.
Okay, because he found us by typing Disneyland into archive.org.
Yeah, which is so cool.
So that's
tag your stuff, people.
Tag your stuff and post your podcast everywhere because why not?
Who would have thought someone would find us?
He found us through that,
yeah.
And if we hadn't put it on that, he wouldn't have found us. And tag your stuff. Use your tags.
He might have written that on the artwork because I'm not seeing it in there. So it's good you mentioned that. Yeah, he wrote that somewhere.
Unless it's a different person.
No,
I think it's him. He definitely. Yeah. All right. So then he writes, knowing I have missed many episodes, thus a weekish ago, I began with episode 11, the premiere Phil-infused episodes.
So cool.
I have a few comments, etc. Episode number 2. So he's commenting on old episodes.
Which is great. And I told him we'll read any old comments, so it's perfect.
If anybody wants to do this, we'll do it.
Comment away.
We might not be able to recall exactly.
You might have no idea what you're talking about.
But we could definitely comment.
I haven't listened to this since how many years ago was that?
This was in 2011 or 12, maybe 12. So it's at least 5 or 6 years ago. Episode number 12. A book I really liked as a kid was The Green Futures of Tycho, a great time travel yarn in which the youngest of 4 kids discovers a time machine and complications occur. Have you heard of this, Phil?
I have not. No, it sounds great.
Put it on the list. I don't know if it holds up, but you guys might like it. I remember reading it multiple times. You guys discussed children's movies this episode and whether or not they still hold up. It's a frequent topic.
Yeah, it was probably talked about
this show
more times.
So many more times. You've stumbled upon a very common theme.
Yes.
Including movies you thought were scary when young. The Peanut Butter Solution freaked me out as well. A film that gave me the willies as a kid was the Will Vinton claymation Mark Twain movie. Seen it?
Definitely.
If not, check it out and see if it's still here.
Definitely,
and we talk about it. He drives on the blimp and there's Casey Jones
a big
and there's all kinds of crazy stuff in that one.
Yeah.
There's Casey Jones' locker, Davy Jones' locker, and all this other scary, really weird. It's awesome.
I loved it.
It's nuts. Yeah. It was on Netflix, and they used to show it because I watched it at my grandparents' house.
I watched it on TV somewhere.
It was definitely maybe PBS,
something
Disney
that,
Channel. I don't know because I definitely watched it, and it's crazy. All right. Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Big Top are also discussed, which makes you wonder if you had seen the relatively recent-ish. See, this is fun. This is awesome. Yes,
because we definitely have.
Have you seen the recent-ish Netflix Pee-wee film? If you already have, discuss this in a more modern episode, I'll get there eventually. Well, there you go. It was surprisingly watchable. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was definitely.
we talked about that to some extent.
And also, I love how much your kids like it and know it and quote it because it's like fun to quote it with them.
We were just talking
like,
about the snakes.
Well, we were talking about the snake, and like Luke was doing the Pee Wee scream. And I was like, oh, it's like Pee Wee. Episode number 13. Brendo asked for a good adaptation of a book. I would suggest the excellent John Huston directed adaptation of Dashiell Hammett's The Maltese Falcon. Yeah, it's a good.
I've never read the book, but that movie is fantastic.
Very close to the book and a good flick. There was a discussion of video game movies, another frequent topic. Which and we also end up talking about this, which makes you wonder about your thoughts on the Sandler film Pixels. I didn't see it. You saw it.
It was mixed. I enjoyed aspects of it. As someone who actually like loves video games, there were some glaring like problems. Like they clearly didn't understand how Pac-Man works, which is like kind of mind-boggling because that's like the most common like arcade cabinet ever. But there was a lot of fun in it. If you don't mind Adam Sandler, which I think he's funny, but there was also it was mixed. I would say mixed.
Yeah. Andrew also says they didn't understand how arcade games work.
So they're talking about like put in this cheat code, and I'm like, you don't put in a cheat code on an arcade game.
There's no cheat codes in Pac-Man.
Yeah, like that. What are you cheating on? Yeah, they definitely it needed some help. They should have hired us as consultants because I would have made it perfect.
Sure, every video game nerd says that.
I know. I'm not the first one.
Again.
Yep. It had a lot of potential.
There was discussion. Okay, there's episode number 14. The Quest is a film I'd forgotten about, but remembered one scene vaguely. This is
that's the one with what's the name from E.T.
Yeah, it was you had
Henry
it.
Henry Thomas, and
not the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Right, because we discussed the difference.
We also discussed that movie.
It's so good, and they're looking for this monster that lives.
This was one of your VHS.
Yes,
it's probably why we were talking about it.
Well, and also I don't know if I mentioned it in that, but it's also the first movie I remember hearing a bad word in because one of the girls says the sh word, and I was like, and I remember like rewinding back to hear it again because I'm like, did she really just say that?
Well, because that was because that was like in the Wild West pre PG-13 days where like cuss words in PG movies were very common.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
I mean, Goonies.
Now you just get like butt and stuff like that.
But I mean, like Goonies.
No, Goonies would definitely have been a PG-13 today.
Oh yeah, they say they curse like every other word out of Chunk's mouth is like a curse word.
Yeah, absolutely.
My favorite quote is when Chunk. when the mom comes and Chunk just says, "Oh shit, what?" just like so like. But when you're like, I remember being that age and thinking that cussing was like the coolest thing in the world. So like, I get like that definitely was pretty accurate. Like the way you like creatively incorporate it into your vocabulary when you're that tween age, like
I definitely knew a lot of people that were just like that.
But then some of the other and then there's other stuff in that movie which I'm like, yeah, this definitely. Well, I mean, like PG-13 was basically created for Richard Donner and Steven Spielberg, because after I think it was Poltergeist that like kind of, or in Temple of Doom and Poltergeist were like the big ones where they're like, Steven, like the MPA is like, well, now we got to do something.
What are we gonna do here?
Because can you imagine, because it was like PG and then R, and like there's so much
in between
territory. There. So back anything pre PG-13 really earns the parental guidance.
Yes, it does.
Because some people forget that is what PG stands for.
I mean,
not
we
to
don't
mention
have time
that
to go into it.
I mean, there's entire documentaries about how the rating system is garbage and useless.
Well, and what PG-13, although it's done a lot of good things, it's also like totally messes up modern the way that movies are done because those are the highest grossing movies. Movies will specifically target their content and writing to fit that so that they can get that target. And sometimes art suffers for.
I was just reading about the history. I don't even know why I was looking this up. I was reading about the Rollerball remake from which is garbage.
I never saw it, but I heard.
But the original one is like a cult classic,
right?
And they actually originally this was going to be like an improvement on the original, and it was going to have that satire and all that element in it,
right?
And then whatever director they brought in, it's John McTiernan, who shortly after this movie literally went to director jail in the sense that he went to jail. And But then he never made a movie after like I think he made like 2004. He hasn't made a movie since. This is the guy that made Die Hard and like Hunt for Red October, and then like
and then Rollerball.
Yeah, but so and then and then they just scrapped all of that part and they just made it like an action movie, which. Again, this is why Paul Verhoeven movies can't be remade because like look at what they do to him.
Yeah,
like when they understand. And they're talking about doing a freaking Starship Troopers. I'm like, it's gonna suck. It's gonna be terrible.
Nobody understood that movie
because one like already you have Robert Heinlein's own like, but then Paul Verhoeven. The reason why that movie is so great is because Paul Verhoeven, like Ross explained it really well. Paul Verhoeven is like 80% like I'm not serious. And that's where people just like you can't reproduce that,
right?
And
no, it's perfect. The tone is pitch perfect, and any direction either way on sincerity and on tongue-in-cheekness just would ruin it.
Yeah. So I don't. Oh yeah. So we were talking about
something. Anyway. Yeah. So back to
the quest.
Episode 14. The quest. Oh yeah, there you go.
I remember that film giving me the willies a bit in that part. I remember seeing one scene vaguely, and you remember. So he says scary part.
There is a big scary scene.
Also, a reminder of the Boogity films, which frequent topic for me. I remember watching Bride of Boogity the first night of summer vacation one year. Thank you for reminding me. There are clips on YouTube, and it's one of those things where I don't want to watch it because I know it will be stupid.
You want to keep that perfect nostalgic.
I remember being so scared from those movies and also just like entertained by them, and I know they're probably dumb.
It's possible.
Like I did watch Brat Patrol, and Brat Patrol is great.
I remember. I think I saw that like college era.
All those movies are on YouTube, like in their entirety, which is awesome. Yeah. God bless YouTube. But like there's some of them where I'm like, I know if I watch this, it'll be stupid. But the two that I watched that did hold up were Brat Patrol and Parent Trap 2. Is great. Okay. The only thing that kind of ruined Parent Trap 2 was when we found out one of the co-stars died of a heroin overdose.
Well, yeah, but that's kind of
sad.
The scenes nonsense.
That's just one of those things you stumble upon. It's inevitable with dealing with kid actors. Yep. Is a lot of them have bad ends, and it's always unfortunate in the IMDb age where you IMDb somebody because we used to be in oblivion, and now you look them up. You're like, oh, I wonder what that. Oh, they're dead. They died a sad, horrible death.
Yep.
But yeah, oh my gosh, we're not gonna get through this.
You can do it.
All right, where are we?
Booty film. He said, "Thank you for reminding me."
I may have to seek them out one of these days. You could definitely find them. Just the clamshells are expensive.
Yeah, but there's places.
But you could definitely get them online, and there's like bootleg DVD stuff. Although I've never, that's one thing I always look for is like those World of Disney special. That's how rare they are that they don't even have them at like the bootleg. You can get freaking Muppet Babies and any other show. Right. And I've specifically, and they're like, I don't have those. I don't have a source on those. Like some of those like World of Disney movies. I'm like, man, one day they're going to just start releasing those. Like they should just like.
Well, they did some of them when they started doing that Amazon thing, but not all of them.
Because they're sitting on so much stuff. I don't think people realize how much stuff they're sitting on. Because there was like they had a new movie every weekend for like most of the 80s and even going back.
And they're great.
And they're all like full on great movies with like huge casts. And like I don't even think like most people I'll talk to and they like want then like they'll be like, oh yeah. And I'm like, yeah, like there are so many Disney movies that like have not seen the light of day in like 30 years. There's so many. Like
bring them back, guys. Get them out of the vaults.
Stupid freaking vault. I hate that vault. That vault's the worst. Brendo complains of being assigned. This is really funny.
This is
Brendo complains of being this is where I like this, being reminded of stuff. Brendo complains of being assigned jury duty here. I've been selected for jury duty every 2 years for the past 8 years. It kind of stings. I'm not even going to spoil what's going to happen later on.
Because you need to hear it. But there's things that happen.
My jury duty story gets much more
new information has come to light, man.
But I remember that because that jury duty was when I wanted because I made it into the alternate box because that was when I was working at WebSense. No, that was even before that. That was back in Orange County. That was when I was also still trying to get because that time I don't think I even made it out of the jury selection that time because I was back in Orange County. Because the first time I ever made it into the box was in San Diego, and that was also. But I think
how many times you've been called?
Oh, dude, lately I've been getting it like every year.
I've gotten called a bunch, but I've only ever once been actually like called in because I just do the thing where you call and they say not to come in.
I've never called and not been told to come in. Never.
I don't know.
And now I feel like I'm now gonna get flagged as like a superstar juror.
Yeah, they know you can do it.
Because like that's one of the things they ask you, and I found out they do try to seek out, like they will. I talked to the DA, and she's like, "Oh, dude, if you're gonna get like I guarantee you're gonna get put back on a murder trial. Like if you ever get called in, they will you're
on the list now.
Well, not that you're on a list, but that when you do get picked and they start asking you questions, as soon as they find out you've had prior jury service and you had a conviction, like."
You're in.
I'm in.
Yeah.
So
because you have to report that.
Yes, they're gonna ask you, and you're under oath.
I wanted to show, in case people are watching on YouTube. Well, I can't tell if I'm showing it or not, but I think I am.
They can go to the freaking.
I know, but someone's on YouTube. I want them to see the artwork there. Maybe you can't tell.
And your phone's upside down, and it's
all right. Never mind. Well, anyway, that's
Phil's trying to hold his phone up to a webcam.
Sorry.
Not how this works.
All right, well, go to Mark's page.
No, so like so here's what's gonna happen. And she told me, she's like, brace yourself for the rest of your life. Like, but she's like, if you don't, so she's like, as long as you keep the job that you have where you do get unlimited like jury duty. So she's like, you're probably gonna get back on a long trial because she's like, if you get in there, you might not. I mean, like it's still the odds aren't good that you're gonna even end up into.
A lot of times you don't even get called to have a question asked.
If you get up and because that's usually like the third question they ask you. It's a standard question, and you have you've prior jury service longer than a week, and you've got a conviction. You are prosecutors, and you're even a defense, because even defense attorneys like that, because at least they know you're gonna like be fair,
right?
Like, I'm like, you're gonna get picked. You are a jury. You're what we want. Both sides, both prosecutor and defense, because we know you're gonna be fair. We know you know what you're doing. You know what you're looking for. Like you're gonna be fair and objective, and like you have experience. Because like everybody in that courtroom that I was in, that like 3/4 of the people had been like before. She's like, this is you're in. Like, which I'm like, I guess that's cool, but I also am like, the murder trial. Like I was pretty traumatized by this one, and it wasn't even like a real bad.
Yeah.
But I do. Here's what okay, this is bad, but like, here's what I want. If I do get a murder trial again, I want it to be one where it's not. I want like a whodunit one.
Oh,
like they don't know that the guy did it, because this one the guy did it. Well, it wasn't even like, did this guy do it or not? It's this guy did it. Is it self-defense? Is it this? Right. I want this guy says he didn't do it. We're gonna try and show you that he did do it.
Because that's a whole different ball of wax.
And it's also something I'm like completely obsessed with.
Yeah, you are.
Like, so I that's what I want. But the other, it's like, I don't know.
Well, Mark's got a lot. You kind of, spilled the beans a little bit. But
I was a juror in a murder trial, Mark.
There we go.
You gotta. If you go not this time, but like in a few years, in 2016.
So in like 500 hours of listening to us, you'll eventually get to
and then you'll get to the saga of the murder trial. Are you gonna run out of the courtroom? No, because you're not supposed to do that. Because
as much as movies have misled us, though,
Henry Fonda, half of the things that he did in 12 Angry Men are illegal. Like, he conducted his own investigation. That's so illegal. You can't do that.
Yeah, like the movies told us we can't.
Yeah, like, because the whole thing where he like went and like was able to buy a knife and he went to the scene of the crime, that would have immediately gotten a mistrial.
Yeah.
Like if the defense had found out that he did that, like that would have been an immediate mistrial. Like everything he did was so illegal. Like, and you can convince the whole doing his own investigation, not based on the evidence presented. That's like against everything that that's you can't do that. You can't do that.
Now we have 2 minutes and 23 seconds. I just want to point out, just throwing it out.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know how this is gonna pan out.
I don't know how this is gonna pan out either.
Episode 15.
Talking of bad or strange pizzas.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe Chuck E. Cheese?
There's a lousy pizza buffet where I live. Didn't used to be lousy, at which they serve macaroni and cheese pizza.
That is fantastic. If it's done well, I've had some amazing macaroni and cheese pizza.
I think I don't know where he lives, but if it's a weird Midwest place, they don't know how to make pizza out there.
Done well. I mean, who knows?
I once ate like a cheeseburger pizza that was like the most disgusting thing. They do a lot of weird stuff with pizza out there.
I've had an excellent cheeseburger pizza too, so it can be done well.
I've had some such gross stuff, especially at some of those other pizza buffets. I've never been to Pizza Chalet.
Oh, it's great.
Well, they have a buffet.
Yeah, I know. We've done it once. It's fantastic.
Don't tell me that.
Oh, I shouldn't. No, it's horrible. Don't go.
Because I just drove by it the other day.
It's so good. They have like fried chicken in it too.
Man.
Oh, okay. Don't go.
Couldn't get myself to ever try any, though. I have a nephew who thought it was great. There is an episode of The Best of the Worst on YouTube, which covers the masterpiece known as Pocket Ninjas.
Yeah, that was one of my freaky movies. Phil freaky movies.
So there's a YouTube show that talks about it.
Okay.
And he says, worth a watch if I remember right, but a warning for some adult language. We'll continue to listen to the show, and thanks for the entertainment. Listening makes the cleaning of toilets and other various surfaces pass by more quickly. So that's what he does.
Dude, well, thank you so much for writing that stuff. That's so awesome.
We're doing a 45-minute show, Andrew, and we have 46 seconds left. So I don't know
how it's going to happen. You take the reins.
I'm getting that candy bar. So
Brendo, take the reins.
Be sure to check out DreamHost for all your site needs. Go to radiobrendo.com, click the DreamHost link. We'll do Amazon next time. We'll do Rock Cars next time. And also check out BenviewNetwork.com and check out all the Benview Network podcasts. Listen to us on Stitcher. Rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Once again, radiobrendo.com. That's where you contact us. That's everything. And click that Amazon link, and we'll be back on Thursday to talk about more stuff like the Amazon things that people may have bought using that Amazon link. So you said I have a 30-second window after the flash.
That's why I'm getting my phone ready for your 30-second window.
So next time we're going to talk about the Oscars because, I mean, everybody's talking about the Oscars, so we'll talk about it next time. We're going to be those guys. I did win the Oscar pool, so we'll talk about that. And Phil's convinced that Phil's on the conspiracy side of things. I'm on the no side of things, and we'll talk about that, at least for like a second, maybe, depending on what happens with this full bar challenge. And so for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody, and John Goobang do.
All right.
Did I get
you made candy? It with 1 second to spare. 1 second to spare. You get a Snickers Crisper. Crispity goodness.
Is there like a time limit now?
There's not a time limit in the middle. The next two time limits are during the next show.
We're going to go pretty quickly here, but I need to get a drink, and I'm going to eat this Snickers Crisper because I'm hungry.
So, Andrew, to answer your question, we're not doing as 25 minutes. It's 45 minutes, which still is a challenge. But
we'll get there.
Yeah. We may not always do this, but it's a fun thing for a little while.
3-0.
Until the candy bars run out.
8. What is it we going to call it? What are we going to call this episode? Flashback. Flashback.
Yeah. Mark Kalmbach's flashback.
What?
Use his name. Mark Kalmbach. Mark Kalmbach's flashback. Mark Kalmbach's Radio BrendoMan flashback.
That's too long.
Mark Kalmbach's flashback. Flashback with Mark Kalmbach.
We've put a Benview ads in each episode for the last, ever since...
Forever?
For a long time. And yes. So the answer is yes. And we have been doing that. And, yeah, I do that. Mark Kalmbach's...
Flashback. Radio flashback.
What if we weird him out and he never listens again?
I don't know. Should we not put his name in it, maybe? He does have his art page, though.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we'll do that. We're going to do it.
Because it's not, we're putting stuff to that. We're not putting his personal thing. So that seems reasonable.
No, we do ads on all the shows. Phil doesn't do ads on his shows.
I know.
Phil's not a good Benview.
I put the tag on the end of all of them. I had Benview on a tag on all of them. So you would know, though. That proves he doesn't listen to him. So
I'm gonna do the Todd Glass.
I do sometimes mention Benview
Well, you
Network.
definitely do that.
I haven't put any ads yet.
Yeah, make an ad so I can.
I gotta make an ad. I know. I gotta do it.
Oh, these are good.
Yeah, it's doubled. It's like 2 mini bars, right? I always wondered how do they decide if it's going to be 2 mini bars or 1 big bar?
I think that's just their practical. Like, let's try it this way, and they'll probably gotta mix it up.
Well, there you go. I'm getting all my stuff ready for the X Shrine Con, whatever.
Yeah, I gotta do a total click because I think I'm gonna sell I think I'm paring down even more. I think I'm gonna sell a bunch of books.
Yeah.
I think I might sell some more DVDs.
Oh.
But I don't know. The DVD collection is pretty already, but I think I might.
Man.
Since there's so many that I don't think I've watched. The only physical DVDs I've watched in the last year are the Colt Cabana DVD.
Yeah.
I haven't even watched the freaking Tower Records Blu-ray that I've had for 2 years. That was one of the first Kickstarters I ever freaking did. Colin Hanks personally sent me that. It had his freaking signature on the thing.
And it's just sitting there
from Colin Hanks.
Man.
And so I don't know what's wrong with me, but I think I'm but then some of a lot of stuff is just stuff I want to have. Yeah. Even though I seriously haven't touched it. I haven't watched any of it. But there's certain things I'm never gonna get rid of, but now there's things I'm kind of on the fence.
There's an argument to be made for having a library.
I know.
Within reason.
But I also just don't. I'm to the point where I'm over it. I'm over stuff just sitting there collecting dust.
You can get money for it.
I don't know, man. I want a Moby space. I love his MTV Cribs, where it's just basically an empty apartment. And I'm oh, it just so peaceful.
I don't know. To me, I like the comfort of things piled all around me.
I don't like it anymore. I think I'm over it. I'm not gonna get rid of any CDs just because. But I definitely might get rid of some DVDs. Definitely I got a bunch of books that I've read and I'm just done.
I got a bunch of Legos.
And I got some other stuff. I'm gonna go through my boxes and maybe some other collectible items.
Do you want me to bring your stuff that's in my garage, or
are we taking your truck? We're gonna have to. It's not gonna fit in my car. All our stuff.
Might have to do my other car or something. I don't know if the truck will make that journey.
Well, we might be able to fit everything in my car.
Well, we'll see.
Because you got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff.
I do. The truck could definitely be ideal.
What about your dad's truck?
That's a possibility.
We're gonna have a lot of stuff.
I know.
We might be able to fit. What if we put the seat down in my car? Can my car do that? I don't know.
Oh, maybe. We'll have to talk to Janelle and see. The problem, I might have to do the truck because she's got moolah that weekend, I think.
Well, I'm just saying, we're going to have a lot of stuff.
I know. Yeah, I don't know.
Because I've got those. If it was just my stuff, it might fit in my car, but my stuff plus your stuff.
Yeah. No, I'm going to have a lot of stuff.
And I'm going to have a lot of stuff. I don't know. I assumed we were going to take your truck.
Well,
is your truck on its last legs?
It's doing bad. We've got a smog check coming up, and I have a feeling it's not going to make it. I don't know, though. I've said that the last couple times.
You say that every time.
Well, there's sometimes it didn't make it. So, but then they were able to do it with a reasonable amount of money.
Is that program going to be over now?
I don't think it will last.
Trump for dumpers.
Trump for dumpers.
Trump for dumpers.
Yeah, I don't see that carrying on.
So I could see him getting rid of. Well, no, because it's a California thing. But on a federal level, he's like, smog's good.
Yeah.
No more smog checks.
Is it terrible that that's the thing I would probably fight the last of all of the things?
We don't need the ozone layer. We don't need any of that.
Yeah, we got a lot of other good things.
Just watch. Every time I think about that, though, that I watch a movie featuring Los Angeles in the 70s, no and I'm like, oh my God. Anytime anybody tries, I'm just just watch anything. Just look at a picture.
Well, just think of when we were kids. I remember going to
Raging Waters.
And
I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, so it's
smog plus chlorine was the worst.
It's a horrible combination.
Chemical. You would pop up out of the pool and you wouldn't be able to breathe.
But see, modern cars are so much better with emissions that doesn't that just balance out the few old cars that are still on the road?
Sure. You want to test that theory?
No, just my car. Can I just balance out my car?
Just Phil.
You got a Prius, so that balances out my truck. That's fair. I call Brendan's Prius.
My friend got a Prius. That's my offset.
You're my green. You're my green. You're my green offset.
I'm your
what do you call those points? Carbon credits. Yeah. My friend got a Prius. I don't have to do smog check. Can I send that in with my application? I ride around with him sometimes. It counts. I don't want to do no smog check.
Because I got the hatchback, and maybe if that seat goes down,
it's possible.
That's still tight. That's still gonna be tight.
The thing that
you have a lot of stuff.
It would stink if we broke down out in LA.
Well, why don't you ask your dad?
That might work. Because some things seem to just work themselves out. Like the truck was overheating really bad for a few weeks. Did I tell you about this?
I'm already like, this is like
like it got to the point where I was running the heater like at full blast all the time, and I could barely make it to the kids' school and back to our house, and it would like be like tipping out where the radiator's about to blow, right? And I was like, shoot, something is up.
And then it just went away?
Well, no. So then I like finally looked under the hood after a while, and like the radiator was bone dry. And I poured in some water, and it's totally fine now. So I don't know what that means.
I don't know, dude.
Maybe supposed to do that on a regular basis or something. I probably shouldn't own a car. You know that Seinfeld where Jerry's like, his mechanic is all mad at him because he treats his car so bad? That's if I had a regular mechanic who like knew me well, that's how they'd feel about me.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, you know your car. I also think that knowing how things play out, that might be a bad idea.
Well, that's the thing. That's where I'm like going back and forth in my head because
it's like 70 miles one way.
Yeah, like if we get
a lot of miles
in LA, in downtown LA, and
you imagine being on like the 5 or something.
Yeah, like
or like the 101 right there, like at the 101-5 interchange. And we die.
Yeah, like
we're
that
stuck right
would
there.
Suck really bad, and that's why I hesitate.
And then we don't get to go to the convention, and we don't get to make that money.
Yeah, then I got to get towed somewhere, and that's bad.
I think you should ask your dad, or we can try and fit the stuff in my car.
I'll talk to him and see what his schedule looks like. Maybe we'll see how much stuff. I'll try to put together mine in a small enough.
I mean, you know how much space mine takes up because it's sitting in your garage. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
and that's all.
That's all going.
That's all going.
Well, we'll explore.
I'm even selling the man love sign.
You can't sell the man love sign.
You're right. I can't sell the man love sign.
That's a gift.
That's part of our that goes back.
Yeah.
That goes back 20 years at least.
Exactly. That should be on your wall.
No.
All right. Well, it should be on
your wall.
It should be on my wall. It's a great sign.
I just realized I was talking to. This is a good bonus story. I don't know, because I don't know if it paints us in the greatest picture. It's fine. I totally forgot that this was the thing. Though I was telling a story to Cheryl about us in college.
Okay.
And first of all, I was like, that was 2000. That was 1998. That was like this. Like we're like almost 20 years
ago, yeah.
Where like this stuff happened 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. That's like the stuff that when our parents talked about stuff that happened in the 60s when we were kids in the 80s.
Well, I told her, because I forgot that this happened in the process of talking about, I think I told something about how like you like were like a suave, you were like pretty like ladies man in college. It's like, I just can't see it. And I thought that was funny. And then I'm like, oh man. And then I was like, yeah, it was great. Like I would like, Phil would find me dates and stuff. And then I was like, oh my gosh, we did the switch. We did a switch.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people that can say that, and we totally did. And but then I'm like, that's kind of like that was definitely a thing that we did.
Yeah, but yes, we did, but it was nothing like underhanded.
No,
it's not like we did. The girls didn't know.
But that's kind of
like it was very much an open thing.
College was awesome.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not like we did something like deceitful.
It wasn't like because like George and Jerry were kind of deceitful.
Yeah, there was nothing like that. This was very, very much like, hey,
we did do a switch.
We're all friends. Let's go on a date now, and
Let's
you go on a date. Yeah,
and we
That's all.
switched.
It was totally
And then, but then the really funny part about the switch is we both took one of the same girl to uncomfortable movies.
Yes.
Featuring, this is the weirdest part.
Yes.
2 movies featuring masturbation scenes.
Yeah, like significant ones, which are awkward to watch with like a first time date.
And we both took the same girl, not the same movie, two different movies.
I guess that was a big theme in movies that
Pleasantville and for
and
me, and Psycho
remake.
for you.
And I mean, to be fair, like that's in the original Psycho, but they don't have those sound effects. And
It was the sound effects.
And it drags out a little bit longer, and you got some sound effects. It was enough to make it from like ooh creepy to like ooh
Gross.
creepy. Yeah, yeah. Because but it's Alfred Hitchcock's genius is that that's what he's doing. You don't have to spell it out. It's
and that's
clear
why
what's happening there.
That's why he's the master.
Why he's the master. And I still like that remake. I think it was well done.
I just thought it was funny that like in 20 years ago,
yeah,
we did the switch.
It's yeah. Again, I don't think there's anything.
I don't think there's wrong.
Bad. There was no.
I could
no
just
deceit.
I just think it's. I don't know. I was like,
it was
wow,
fun. It was
we
fun.
were kind of awesome.
There were fun times. I don't know if I consider myself suave though. Like I've always been Phil.
Just back then was pretty suave.
I guess.
Kavorka.
Just different though.
Yeah, but you do things that like nobody I know would even have the like. I don't want to say balls, but like your moves are like, because this was talked about when Adam Wells interviewed you.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like a Don Draper thing. Like I can't because like you're like I can't tell you what to do because your advice is be me, just like Don Draper is like be Don Draper.
I didn't say that literally,
but that's basically what it is because some of the things that you say coming out of anybody else's mouth, like you get punched in the face. But it's something about the way because I think it's your genuineness and the fact that you're somehow, because I swear to God, if I said some of the things that you said and I witnessed you say, it would come off completely wrong.
What's an example?
Just the way like, so what time am I going to pick you up later? And like things like that.
That did always work.
And you did it all the time. And if I did it, I would get punched in the face.
Or yeah, like I remember, like one of my favorite things to do, especially in college, because it was all new, would just be to go up to a girl I didn't know and be like,
"Yeah,
hey, you want to go to a movie tonight?"
But you wouldn't even be that. You would be like, "Okay, so when am I like? What movie are you?" Would do things like where it wasn't even where she didn't even have a chance to even see what was going on before she even knew what was happening. She had agreed to go out with you, and it was crazy. And these were not like. I mean, like I don't want to be like super like superficial, but these were like super hot girls.
It was a fun time in college,
and like, but like I didn't, and so, but then like my move was just like either you would like not, I wouldn't necessarily say get bored, or just like, all right, this one is nothing's happening there. So then like, but they were like, but it was I don't know. This I don't know. It was weird. I felt like I was like the chum scrubber or something.
I don't know about that. Even though my story of meeting Janelle is kind of fun like that because we met.
Because again, it was another one of your freaking like film moves that nobody else.
This is good bonus material for people that don't know. I was walking out of I was walking into the administration building. I don't know. I had to go do some business, and Janelle was walking out. They have a big set of double doors. And I held open a door for her when she was coming towards me. And she, I guess, didn't notice me and walked out the other side of the double door. And I was like, well, that's the last time I hold a door open for you. And she looked up and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, that's all right. You can make it up to me by having lunch with me.
Like, what the frick? Who does
she's like,
this?
Okay. And so I like did a U-turn, didn't do whatever business I had to do in the administration building, and went and took her to lunch. Boom.
And now
we're married.
And I know for a fact that like most people, if they tried to do any of those things, it would either come off like weird or dumb, or they just wouldn't be able to pull it off. Yep. And I can't even say why that worked. It was just be Phil.
Well, so Adam was like asking me in that interview, like, well, how, like, what are your tips?
Well, hey, maybe something clicked because now he's engaged.
There you go. So it worked.
It's because of Phil.
The advice is though, not just be me, but be you.
Be you. And you'll find your thing.
That's right. Don't get all up in your head about it.
And Phil's thing just happens to be some of the ballsiest things you'll ever see and hear in your freaking life. That if I try to do any of them, I'll get punched or be labeled a creepo.
One time I asked a girl out. I met her in class. It was the first day of class. and I asked her. I was like, I found out she had a Disneyland pass, and I had a Disneyland pass, and I was like, after class, let's go to Blue Bayou. I'll pay. And I just had always wanted to like ask a girl I didn't know like out on a fancy date.
Did she do it?
Yeah, we went out.
Of course, because when you're a 19, 20-year-old and some guy asks you to Blue Bayou and he's you. And
now the thing is, when I got to Blue Bayou, because I'd only gone with my parents before,
did you not realize
like,
that it was like, how did you swing?
I mean,
what if he didn't have enough money?
I did. It was fine, but I'm like, oh gosh, because I'd only gone with my parents before. I didn't know how much it was. It's just a place to go eat.
Oh my gosh, for college, Phil, that must have been.
Yeah,
that must have.
There was, other benefits that made it worthwhile.
But that probably was like your whole budget for like a month.
Yeah, because the
like
Disneyland part was free.
I could just see like, have you seen Half Baked?
Yeah,
like when like he's on the date and like he's like seeing how much money he has. Like I think that was probably every date you ever went on. Yep. All right, I'm at like $5, and they're like, oh, let's do something like leaning her towards cheaper.
Let's go to Costco. Let's watch a movie in Blockbuster.
That was like every date in college though, because I remember being like, I can't take a girl to movies, but I have these passes. That's why I would take girls to those, like, I'd take girls to test screenings all the time.
Yeah. I mean, the Dollar Theater was always a
Dollar Theater and test screenings were like my standard, like, operating procedure. Yep. All learned from you. Well, I learned a lot of things.
You can do a lot of stuff on a budget if you're careful.
Shoe golf is free.
That's right.
And it's romantic.
Yes, it is. Walk around, see the sights, throw your shoes at stuff. They already got their shoe off. Right. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
You can go swimming.
Yeah. But, like, I don't know. I know why we were talking about the Switch, because I talked about, we were talking about, like, our friendship, and she was, like, saying something, it's, like it's cool he is, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Phil's always, like, been that guy that, like, we've done like crazy stuff, because one of the first crazy adventures we ever had was following a random girl at Toys R Us. And I remember like you talked to her and you're like, because she was getting because I remember
Star Wars toys.
Because I'm like thinking, because we were talking about something like, I'm like, I remember when Phil like met like the greatest girl in the world, because she had blue hair, which was a major plus.
Yep.
And she was like, she asked, you're like, you helped her get a Star Wars throw down. You're like, oh, is this for your like son? And she's like, it's my nephew and it's for me. And I remember at that moment you were like, duh, because this is like 1998. Star Wars is still not really cool.
Yeah, this is and it's pre-prequels, so we haven't like ruined everything.
The special editions had like just come out.
Yeah.
So there was some buzz, because I think these were like, that's where there was toys in the first place. And so you were like, and so then we talked to her again, and then you were, and then we were following her in her car.
And at some point,
I was like, dude,
what are we doing?
And well, then I said, I'm like, okay, like what happens now? And then I think you realize, like, okay, we can't.
Yeah,
because I'm like, what's gonna happen now?
Well, I'll tell you, it's funny because you're talking,
and that was when I'm like, this guy's gonna be a cool guy to hang out with.
Well, we were talking before the show, and I won't go into details about what, but we were talking about the value of having a college experience to learn like life lessons and stuff.
Don't follow a girl in your car.
But one of the things though is that I was still very much in the phase of like, I'm free, I can do whatever I want. If I want to go drive after someone, I can do it. And then you do something and you realize like, oh, this is a bad idea. Like, you shouldn't do this. But if you don't have those experiences.
I remember the point where, because I'm like, okay, so step one, we get in our car, we follow her in her car. What's the next step?
Yeah. And then we're like,
there is no next step.
Yeah, we need to turn around. This is weird. But, if you don't have those kind of, maybe not that exact experience, but if you don't have the chance to learn those things and be around other people, if I didn't have Brendo there, who knows? Maybe I would have been a crazy stalker.
Maybe you would have been, you'd be in jail.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I just thought it was cool that I could, if I want to go drive somewhere, I can.
The power of the Celica.
Yeah. The power of like, I just remember that first night in college when I'm like, I could go do whatever I want. I'm going to go to the movies. And I did. I went to In-N-Out because I could.
Maybe that's the thing that I'm like searching for that I'll never have again, because now it's just part of your life, where like now you're at the point in your life where like, if I want to eat cookies at 12:30 in the morning, I can. If I want to like not.
Now you just have to answer the question, should I?
But you're right. Like that first, like, and that's why so many people go off the deep end in college, because that first of like, I am truly completely 100% unsupervised. I can do whatever I want. Like,
it's a weird experience.
It's a weird experience. And some people freak out, but I remember being like, this is the greatest thing of all time. And I feel like I was grounded enough where I didn't completely go off.
Yeah.
And
if the worst thing we did is like drive for a little bit and realize it was a bad idea, that's not too bad.
And then like just like, but like, and I think that's what it is about, man. It's just being on your own, not having your mom.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that. You got to go to bed. You got to do your homework. There isn't that. It's gone. And I think that's that experience that like, even if you don't go to college, you should at least like find a way to like not like. I feel like you should just everybody. I mean, I know it's not possible, but it's such a big life experience that like
it really is.
And when I see there is a huge contrast when I see people that haven't had like that they'd still live at home or like never left home.
Yeah.
And there is that. It's not like, oh, I'm cooler than you. It's like you haven't. You don't even know what it feels like to be able to have that like autonomy.
Right.
And I think that's something that at some point you're going to experience. And I feel like the older, like I think it's like it's going to be more jarring the older you are.
Well, because it's just such. I mean, yeah, it's such an important like
part
of that growing up step.
It's sink or swim, and you got to learn how to swim at some point.
Yep.
And you do. Yeah, it's gonna be, and you are gonna make horrible mistakes and do stupid things. But that's what growing up is, and hopefully everything leading up to when you like are out in college, your parents or whoever has prepared you, because and that's where again, like when you see the super sheltered kids, like, and that's where if like the super sheltered kids, and we watch it happen, they will when they're given that 1 ounce of freedom, it's like just kaboom! It's a toxic, destructive thing, and that's where as a parent, I'm sure for you that's like a constant like I mean, you're still at the age where you can really like, but like at some point you're gonna have to light loose it because you want when they do go on, you want them to be in a like how do you prepare them for that?
Right, and that's them to have the preparation that they can stand on their own and can do their own. They have the confidence to do it, but with guidance. That's all.
So it's not like you're just throwing them in the pool and then turning around, because I feel like certain people, that's what they do because they haven't prepared their kid at all. So it is the equivalent of just tossing them.
Yeah.
Like, all right, there you go. Yep. Good luck. I haven't taught you how to swim or anything, but throwing you in there. Enjoy. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Whereas you teach your kid to swim, you prepare. They know the dangers. They respect the ocean.
Right.
Like the pitfalls, but you also know that it can be awesome and there's awesome possibilities. And I think that is what it's like. Like you're throwing them in there, and then like bad stuff can happen, like real bad. Because like especially going to like private Christian school and like seeing like some of those kids that go straight from like having like crazy regulated, and then even in like that atmosphere, which is still kind of there's like but parents assume like, oh, because I'm sending them to a private but like just having that autonomy, it's enough rope that they're gonna hang themselves with it. And like because when in those situations when people, I always talk about this, it's when people in like those situations freak out, it's always like nuts and like crazy stuff. It's not even your typical college. It's like crazy things.
I can't imagine. I mean, we don't want to like talk about specific people, but we saw some stuff. Man.
Yeah. when people would go out, they go out big time. All right, we should get going.
We should get to the next one. Yes.
You need to have like the middle.
Tonight's was we could do that. We can go back to that. Tonight's was different. I wanted to mix it up.
I just imagine Mark Coma. They need an episode. What are these weirdos? I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think because again, we'll like link to his artist page. It would be different if it was like, a personal page. But he's got like a public profile thing. I think it's good.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
And I just realized we haven't even done rock cards.
I know, we got a lot of stuff to cover this episode.
Rock cards and Marmaduke and Amazon. Oh my.
Should I start right away with the rock cards?
Let's just do the rock cards.
All right, so again, we're doing Phil's Full Bar Challenge. It's a 45-minute episode. if we can close out with
So that's
45
my
minutes.
last candy.
Well, okay, so there's two things, two
What's the
parts.
challenge?
Two more
Is-
candies. One is you've got your movies. Television. Your TV, you've got 10 minutes
Okay.
to earn a candy bar.
Okay.
And then overall 45 minutes to earn
Yeah.
the final candy bar. So the TV
What do I get?
is going to be,
What do
drum
you got?
roll, we got Milky Way.
Okay.
And for the 45 minutes, I got a Twix for the wrap for the
Wow.
final.
Got that.
So I
Twix.
paid attention last time. I know now what order to do it in. So that's what we're going to shoot
Only
for
Twix
here.
has the cookie crunch.
That's right. All right. Let's do some rock cards.
Yeah, let's do it.
Happy
Do the
Thursday,
rock
everyone.
cards. I'm just like putting everything, getting the layout going.
Getting it ready. What do we have? So since we're trying to be good about this, for those that don't know, each episode as of late, I open a pack of rock cards. These are cards from the 90s that have different band members from metal bands. And I will read the name. Brendan's going to try to guess. You try to guess at home what band they're from. Here we go. Tico Torres, drummer.
We've had this one.
We
I
definitely
already
have had this
forgot.
one, yeah.
And he looks like Razor Ramon, kind of.
Drummer from Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely
I
have
also like the name Tico.
Tico. Oh, here's another one we've had before. Steve Souza. Let's see how well you remember, how much you retained from these.
None.
Steve Souza, vocalist. Exodus. Mick Mars.
That is from Motley Crue.
Oh, there you go. You got that one right away. All right. Pink Floyd. That's the rock band.
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd. From Pink Floyd. That's a band card. Pink Floyd.
Nice.
There we go. Let's see. Eric Turner.
I don't know what band, because I remember we made this joke already because I said Bachman Turner Overdrive,
yeah.
and that's not
He's from Warren.
Warren.
Brian Baker.
Man, that's a sweet. Is that a bandana?
That is
He got a, what the heck is going on?
like a dream catcher around his neck or something? I don't
What's
know.
on his forehead?
That's just his hair. It's just in the sun.
Oh,
Glorious
I was
hair.
like, what? And he's got those reflective glasses.
Oh, this is a great one.
sunglasses.
This is one of our favorite rock band. Rock
Salty
cards.
Dog.
Junkyard.
Junkyard.
Yeah,
It's one of those.
Salty Dog and Junkyard. That's like they should. If they
Oh.
do one of those package deals, they need to tour around a Salty Dog and Junkyard.
If Salty Dog and Junkyard came to Ukaipa, I'd be front
dude,
row
we
center.
we would have to be there.
I'd have him sign my rock cards.
Yeah, dude, please. Oh my gosh, we're such huge fans of your rock cards.
We would freak him out so
Oh, like,
bad.
you actually listen to our album? No?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Your one album.
Oh, dude, this one's great.
This guy's mustache is amazing.
First of all, yeah, he's got like
Tom the
Selleck,
Magnum.
but yeah, totally.
Like,
Gray comb back hair. His name is Ray Thomas. He plays flute.
oh, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like Chicago.
What is it from?
Who has a flute section?
What is that logo? Oh, Moody Blues.
Okay,
Moody Blues.
I could. Okay,
There we go.
but dude, that dude's Magnum mustache is.
I mean, that
epic.
is absolutely epic. Yeah.
That is like a mustache.
It says because they've had 3 decades.
How do you play flute with that?
After? Yeah, I don't know. Well, my dad though.
I
My dad has a
guess,
mustache.
yeah.
And he's a flute player.
I guess it doesn't really get in the way.
Maybe it's like a walrus, and it helps
helps.
to like feel it more. You know, helps gauge the distance. I don't know. I have to ask my dad. After almost 3 decades and more than 50 million album sales, Thomas can probably
Kinda
lay
looks
claim
like your
to the
dad.
title. He does. He can lay claim to the title of rock's most successful flautist.
Dude, what if your dad was in the Moody Blues?
That'd probably be in a very different place, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, that guy looks like a flute player from the Moody Blues.
Yep, he totally does. How about Tony Iommi?
I know he's a very famous guitar player. I just
Guitar
forgot.
player from Black Sabbath.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think we've had a Black Sabbath
That's
one
our
before.
first Black Sabbath card.
Cliff Williams.
I don't know.
He looks a lot like what's his face that goes crazy, the celebrity guy. I can't think of Nick
Gary
Nolte.
Busey?
Oh yeah,
Nick Nolte?
either one of them.
It's like a long-haired Nick Nolte.
Yeah, there you go.
But he's got like
AC/DC.
okay. I think Cliff wasn't he the one that
Well, I didn't read the facts there.
no. That's Bon Scott. Because I'm like one of them died and those Bon Scott died.
All right, we got a couple more band cards. This will be
Okay.
fast. Cinderella
Nice.
and AC/DC.
Whoa.
Oh, with a discography on the back. This is our first
Ooh.
discography card
What's
there.
the newest album? The Razor's Edge from 1990.
There you go.
And who made who? Goo Bang
Goo
Doo.
Bang Doo.
You made who made who? Goo Bang Doo. Goo Bang you. Beep boop beep. That was 1981. Their first album, High Voltage, 1976. That was with their old singer before Brian Johnson, Bon Scott.
Man, see, this is made for you. Tim Kelly. I feel like we've had Tim Kelly before. Guitar player.
All these guys' hair, man. I'm just
look at that. That's like a perm. Slaughter.
Do you ever perm your hair?
No,
I did.
Definitely did not.
I had hobbit hair at your wedding.
You did?
Yeah.
Man, I gotta go back and look at some pictures.
There's a picture on my fridge.
Ace Frehley.
That is from Kiss. Oh, it's him with his makeup off.
Yeah, makeup off.
They all look so weird with their makeup off. Yeah, when I met Kiss, it was just Paul and Gene, and they had fake Ace and fake Peter Criss.
Oh,
because it was like when they had like the ringers.
Remember, Paul was at Gene was at that Comic-Con because his son did a thing or something. Wait, so even in the band in the picture,
that was probably when they were doing their solo stuff. When they were doing the Unmasked.
His band Frehley's Comet.
Yeah, he was probably not in Kiss at the time.
Yeah, he's currently working on a new solo LP. All right, we got the contest, and our sticker is Clown's Best Friend from R.K. Sloan. What band is that from?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's from a band. Maybe that's just...
I think it's just the R.K. Sloan artwork.
This is artwork with like a devil dog with his jaw ripping off and a worm crawling around it.
Super metal.
Very metal. That's Rock Cards.
I remember I disappointed one of my friends because they were like, they were like, Peter Criss was super awesome, and we talked about stuff. I'm like, that wasn't Peter Criss. Like, what are you talking about?
Sad.
I'm like, yeah, that was Gene and Paul, but that was not Ace and Peter.
Yeah,
sorry.
You had to burst the bubble.
Fake Peter Criss was super nice. I have no idea who it was, but they were super nice.
Man,
because it was with Mike. We were at Hard Rock, and then we saw him, and then like he like started talking to Gene, and then like it was really creepy because like Gene was definitely hitting on the girls, the like 16, 17-year-old girls, and like Gene being
come
Gene.
as a complete surprise.
I do have an awesome picture. They were in their freaking gear. It was awesome.
That's cool.
And Fakers, because he's like, oh, you guys, because it was like our youth group leadership team. And he's like, oh, well, I volunteer at my Lutheran church, and then someone's like, Peter Criss is a Lutheran. I'm like, whoever that was is a Lutheran, but that was not Peter Criss.
I just saw some movie where Kiss heavily featured. What was it?
Detroit Rock City?
Oh, that one obviously, but that wasn't just. Oh, I know. Why him? The James Franco one. There's a bunch of Kiss stuff in it.
Were they in it?
Some of them.
I just watched a Storage Wars where I think it was Daryl bought a collectibles locker, which it was one of those like, clearly this was somebody's collectible store,
right?
And he got it for a steal. But the reason why they bought it was and I would have bought it too off of this. There was a giant, like what clearly was like a stage trunk.
Okay.
And it was like, it had like the Kiss logo on it. And like, it looked like it was like their actual, like, this is their costumes. And it turned out, you know how people like dress up?
Right.
It was basically like cosplay gear, but it was still worth some money, but definitely not. But it looked like Gene, like it could have been like, because if those were official, can you know what, if you just found like,
right,
that would have been crazy.
What if like famous people just put a bunch of valuable stuff in storage spaces and then let it go like defunct just so that people can come and get that? That's like a good like charity.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Bill Gates should do that.
Well, because it's funny though when people do like, because like Nabila Harris, the whole reason why she was on the show because she got one of Paris Hilton's. That's how she got famous.
Oh really?
Was she found like one of Paris Hilton's storage units?
Huh. I
know, like, because a lot of those like big celebrities, they have tons of them, and like it's pretty easy. Like
if you just lose track of it.
Because I don't want to like I think he's talked about it. So Kevin like lost. I know he lost at least one of his because he totally forgot that he had it. So somebody got, and he had like a ton of like good stuff.
Huh.
Like, because he has like a ton of them. At least he used to. I think they finally condensed a lot of it. But at one point, I know there was multiple storage spaces, like huge ones.
Well,
because like people that have a ton of stuff, like
I could definitely see that being an issue if I ever became independently wealthy.
So like that's why the storage auctions like in the Hollywood area are just so nuts.
Yeah.
Because there is the potential for like getting like crazy stuff.
Man.
Like Burbank storage auctions, like I've heard those are like just crazy. And then they have like those like vault auctions and stuff. Like because the vault auctions, you can get some really high-end items because that's like when people move their stuff and then it gets put like that's where they. It's not like traditional storage space where like it's like when I was moving,
right,
and like I just had my stuff in storage for like a few months, like temporary. So I never actually moved it into the. So that's like movers. So it's like professionally wrapped and all that stuff, and then they keep it, and that's what those vault auctions are.
Huh.
Is like if somebody like if they because like it's not so you're gonna it's a much tendency for better items.
Interesting.
And I will talk about Storage Wars forever.
Yeah.
So I better keep going here.
Yes.
But be sure to check out RadioBrendo.com for all our links there. We got our Stitcher links for Benview Network, all the other Benview Network shows.
A lot of good ones.
You got there's a new episode of Alex P. Keaton Is My Friend featuring Cheryl Jones.
Yep.
And you got a new one coming up with a guest.
We got 2 guests this week. I'm actually recording 2 back to back, and then I'll spread them out. But I got some good guests lined up.
Yeah.
I don't want to like spoil it yet, but I'll say that one of them is a Benview alum.
Yeah.
So
and another one is
I
don't know what we call that.
Like a viral video star.
Yeah.
I'll say I won't say who it is, but you've probably seen a video of this guy.
You got the Star Wars kid.
I wish.
Chocolate Rain.
I'm not gonna tell, but you've probably seen it. It's really funny, actually.
Yeah, I'm
There's some good stuff coming.
You've also got Mandarin Orange Show.
Yes.
And that's your other show. My other shows are Popsicles, which we're hopefully going to be recording another one soon.
Nice.
Because the thing for like because Andres, who was at the, I knew Andres made a bunch of stuff for us. So one of the things that he made was a Popsicles flyer, which we actually used as a flyer because it had like Popsicles Fridays at Smodcastle and it had the address, and we used that as a flyer, and that popped up in Facebook memories today.
Nice.
Also, Derek almost like died. So I've just been very like, hold on to your crazy... Well, because like he got sideswiped by a truck and and he somehow like Caltrans told him like he should have either been sucked under the truck because that's what happens a lot when that kind of situation. That's how Jane Mansfield died. Or he should have like because he went clear across, didn't hit the wall. He did spins, didn't hit another car, didn't hit the wall.
And like I think he said like minimal damage.
Yeah, very little damage. Like he walked away. It's a big area. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like oh my gosh. So when I saw Derek last night at the Oscars party, I just was like, oh man.
Hold on to your Dereks.
Hold on to your Dereks. But Andrew wants to know when he's going on.
One of these days. I got 7 more seasons coming up. There's plenty of room for guests. Don't worry.
Well, you can also support us by, we can help you out.
That's right.
By giving you $50 off your hosting on, what is happening here? I got a new phone. It's making all kinds of new noises.
Brendan doesn't know how to handle. He did get a new phone though, which is good.
I have an incoming video call.
Is that for real? Is that like one like did someone like pocket dial you or something?
I don't know.
Janelle does that to me all the time.
No, it's the Hangouts app. It's like doing weird things.
Oh, okay. Someone's trying to join the Hangout.
I guess.
Well, while you're doing that, Andrew, I will pick a good one for you. Don't worry. They're all special episodes, so that's good. DreamHost, $50. Click the DreamHost link at the top of our website, RadioBrendo.com.
Yes. We also offer a 30-day free trial to Amazon Prime. Speaking of Family Ties, if you want to watch it, Amazon Video is a great place
to do it.
And you can watch it for free on Prime. If you you can get a free 30-day trial, go to RadioBrendo.com, click that link, and it's only $99 a year after that. You get that 2-day, because I needed an SD card for this new phone. Mm-hmm. Got one for $12.
Nice.
And it'll get here tomorrow.
Nice.
Boom.
Yeah.
I also needed this is I found out a huge scam with like cars now is like, like the battery in your key fob. Yeah. And like if you take it into the place, like it's like they'll charge you like $20.
Okay.
They're watch batteries. They are seriously like $2.
So you can just do it.
I got it on Amazon. I saw a YouTube video how to open my thing. I did it.
And it works?
Oh yeah.
So I need to just fix mine then. Mine has been dead for like a year.
They're $2. I'm not even joking. They're $2.
Oh dude, I gotta do that.
I got a 5-pack for like $5.
Oh.
You actually
so how do you like get it open?
Mine, there's like a thing on them.
Just pop that open there?
Well, it depends. You can, all of them see this.
Oh.
You stick something in there. Mine has it. There's something where you can stick it in and pry it open. It's 2 pieces. And then you just, there's usually like a circuit board. You pull that up. It's all, and then it's seriously just a watch battery.
All right. I'm watching that YouTube video.
You should actually It's probably the same one that I look it up. And if it's the same one, I'll give you because I got a 5-pack. It's coming like next week.
That's amazing. Because I've had no like clicker for like it's been like 2 years.
It's a watch battery, dude.
Huh.
You didn't even bother looking up online. To get a brand new thing, it costs like $100. But to replace the battery, it's and they'll replace it at the place for like $20.
Well, I'm sure they will.
But it's a $5 watch battery, less than $5. $5 for a multi-pack of them, and it's probably the same kind. So you can just have.
All right.
Oh my.
Hey, well, I'll do it when I get to my stuff. Okay.
But yeah, check out that Amazon Prime free trial, and even if you already have Prime or you don't have Prime, but we all know you still order things from Amazon, and so that's the easiest way to support the show. Go to radiobrendo.com, click that Amazon link, and then shop. Do your normal Amazon shopping for the same great Amazon prices, but you'll also be helping out the show. We get a portion of everything that you buy, and then we'll read what you bought. And that keeps this hosting, keeps the machine running, keeps us flush in candy bars.
That's right.
And other things.
That's sweet Milky Way money.
Our sweet Amazon money.
Yeah. What did people buy this week?
Bought a lot of stuff. We got a lot.
All right. What do we got?
So I had to do some advance just so I wasn't spending too much time.
Okay.
But we got on Instant Video. It's an episode of a TV show. The episode is called Revenge, Getting Rich, and Aching.
Huh. What's the show?
It's Andy Daly's show review on Comedy Central. Have you ever watched the show? It's on Hulu.
Okay.
It's Andy Daly from Comedy Bang Bang and from High School and and it's really funny. He review. It's basically him basically complaining about different things, and he reviews. It's really funny. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a Comedy Central show. It's really good, and so it's an episode from that.
Sweet.
But I've watched it on Hulu a bit. It's pretty good.
Amazon is cool though because you have options of getting stuff.
You know what else is on Amazon that I need to watch but I haven't yet?
What?
Is My Brother and Me, the show. You can get CISO. It's only $3.99 a month.
Yeah. And
you can add it on to your Amazon because no offense, CISO, but their actual app is garbage. So getting it through Amazon is like a million times better. And the new My Brother and Me show is on there now.
That's cool.
I watched an extended thing and it was real, but I haven't actually watched it. I'm sure it's great. But yeah. So there's a trick though for the Mabim Bam show. What's the trick? They're adding bloopers and new stuff.
Oh.
What does that mean? But Amazon people can't see it?
Oh, so it's only on their
that's
CISO thing?
Dumb. Because you're paying the CISO price. You should get it all on Amazon.
Well, so you should just watch it on Amazon anyway.
Their app sucks. It really sucks. Their app sucks. The web-based one sucks. I actually quit CISO for a while until I found out you could do it through Amazon.
All right.
But it's dumb. Well, they better fix it. Or they should offer that stuff for free because I'm not signing up for the app. It's still not worth it to sign up for the app because their app is terrible.
Well, for some bloopers. That's DVD special features material. You don't even watch that when you have it.
All right, we got a even flow position and lock tall pressure mount wood gate. So I'm guessing this is baby gate.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure. It could be an animal.
Well, they're multi-purpose. Yeah. I mean, it could be either one.
Well, I'm thinking of getting one. So in the library where we ordered
for the Commandant.
Well, not for the Commandant, but for at work. So we're in the junior high. I work in the library, and my desk is so there's the librarian's little island, and then there's a walkway behind it, and then there's my desk, which is also part of this just longer desk.
Okay.
And I have my area, but then there's the printer where everything prints to, and it's pretty much basically established. It's pretty common. You don't go behind the desk at the library. It's just at a store,
right?
And that's our area back there.
Social,
but kids
norms
always walk in that to get their printing stuff.
Okay.
They walk behind, and I'll just be and they'll bump my chair. They're so it's real bad. And like we'll tell them like don't.
So you're gonna get a baby gate?
Well, we're gonna get a gate. Like, well, it's not a baby gate. We got like a stanchion thing. But I don't know when we're because ordering stuff at school, like everything takes forever. Yeah, it's all got to get approved and everything. But it's like it's like those cord thing, like
you have a hook.
Yeah. So one side you mount the hook side, the other side it's like the stanchion, and then it clips on because we didn't want something super permanent,
right?
But we definitely need a barrier because right now, I started like. This is how bad it is where they just don't get the freaking like clue is I will put a cart of books in the pathway and if there is any amount of space where they can squeeze through, they will squeeze through. And it's like, dude, go around. But it's great because the librarian will yell at them. I don't even have to yell at them.
That's good.
But we're kind of tired of all that, so they got me like a little gate thing. But
I do like the idea of you hiding behind a baby gate.
Brendo gate.
The Brendo gate.
But kids are. It's like the same thing where like we have all the like sidewalks, but they walk in like the dirt path and ruin the things. And
that's what they do. This is great.
All right, we got a good one.
In books,
we got sex toy coloring book. A dirty, rude, sexual, and kinky adult coloring book of 40 Zentangle sex toy designs. Sexy Coloring Books, Volume 2. Okay, I gotta see this.
There's more than one.
I'm sure this is gonna be very amusing.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh! Wow.
This is such a like niche audience that's going to be into adult coloring books and adult coloring books.
Like sex toys, and then you color them in.
Yeah, like that's just a very narrow audience. I mean, I guess like for
oh, dude! Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them. Oh wow!
Sex positions.
Genital World, the coloring book. Oh my gosh. What have you realize now that you've clicked this is going to be popping up on all of your like in the background of all your searches and stuff. It's not all 4 and 5 stars.
Neat coloring book has good images, fun to color and use imagination.
That is not a real review.
It says verified purchase.
Yeah, but I'm saying that like that's fake.
This is from a Kindle customer. LOL, name speaks for itself. Having fun coloring.
Wait, they got it on Kindle? How do you color on Kindle?
I don't know. Love this. Fun.
Ha ha ha, loved it. I mean, it's for bachelorette parties and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I need more reviews.
Well, it's not quite as bad as the dog one where it's just like small pictures and repeated ones and stuff. I wonder if this is my sister-in-law again. Oh, this could be interesting.
It's pretty funny.
Amber, is it you? Fess up.
All right, we got the Electronics wired 3.5 millimeter earphone, earbuds, headphones, +1 carry case with remote and mic for Apple, Samsung, HTC, Google, Nokia, Android, Smart P. It got cut off.
Ran out of room for their tags.
Smart P.
You know what? If you go before like you go on a long drive, that's a Smart P.
Smart P. Okay, we got Levi's men's 511 chino pants, so some Levi's. Meadow Moss / Cruise. 12. Cruise, I think that's like a color.
Meadow Moss, is that like greenish?
I think they're greenish.
The green pants?
Yeah. But Cruise.
Those are cool looking pants.
I buy all my pants on Amazon. The best prices.
I can't pull off slim fit anymore, though.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah, Global Cache IP2 IR ITAC wired TCP IP2 IR.
Like a cable? What we're talking about there? It's like a box.
It's like a wire. It goes like network to infrared.
Huh.
So then I guess.
All right. Well, someone needs that for something.
Ultra compact device.
Huh.
But it does TCP IP to IR, so I think it's it does an infra. So I don't know, it's like a hotspot kind of thing. I'd like to hear.
Yeah, I'm curious what that is.
Oh, web server.
Is it it's not by Goobangdoo, is it? Oh darn.
I think it's like a mobile hotspot type thing.
I wish it was
because you connect like your network in here. Okay. You know how you have like a router and you connect multiple devices. This you connect it and then it does IR.
Okay.
Like for your devices, I think that's my theory.
All right. Well, they should have got the Goobang-Doo version though.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have one.
I don't know. Yeah, Continental Clean Care Family Roll to get that toilet paper.
Yep. You got to buy all those things.
Dude, bulk toilet paper on Amazon, it's the absolute cheapest, best price. Because, like, look at this. $20 for 36 rolls of toilet paper. You cannot beat that price.
Absolutely. And that's with Prime.
Yeah. And you can do subscribe and save. So it's $21.99, but then if you do the subscribe and save, but you can set that to anything and you can cancel it because I used to do that.
You're going to buy toilet paper.
And you're going to buy toilet paper. And it's nice having just a giant amount of it.
We go to Costco, but
we've also got Cottonelle Fresh Care Flushable, so they're doing the wipes.
Wipes are good.
Yeah.
I'm down with the wipe.
Down with the wipes.
I got to tell you.
I'm not.
Ever since we had babies and you try those baby wipes and you're like, oh, this is a whole new world.
I know of a comedian that like he like keeps them in his backpack at all times. Like, he's like,
we will never not have baby wipes on hand from now on. They're wonderful.
Yeah. We got Kleenex every day. See, someone's stocking up.
Yeah.
We got facial tissues, pack of 18. We got Weight Guru's Bluetooth smart connected body fat scale. So it's like a Bluetooth scale.
That's cool.
We got linen tablecloth, 90 by 132 inch rectangular polyester tablecloth. So we got a kitchen 12-pack flour sack towels.
Someone's doing a
kitchen towel
redesign of their kitchen.
I need to get some kitchen towels because like bath towels don't dry dishes.
No, you got to have the like thin.
You need these ones.
Yeah. Yeah,
like different. Soak up the stuff. Whereas,
but then they dry out quickly because they're thin.
So the bath towels, though, what I've found is they just kind of swirl it around. They don't actually like dry the dish.
It's definitely different. I don't know who figured out like different towels, but whoever did.
And I should get some of these. $16.99 for 12 towels.
Look like it's from Utopia Kitchen. Nice. It's got to be nice.
We got Amex medical vinyl gloves.
Getting their first aid kit stocked up.
Heavy duty large square cargo duffel 42-inch gear bag equipment bag. So big bag, duffel bag.
Someone's going on vacation. Where are you going?
Or they just need a duffel bag, gear bag.
I guess.
It's a solid looking duffel bag.
Well, maybe they got a trip. Who knows?
It's a big bag.
Yeah. Maybe they got a long trip.
Got SimPad Optimizer starter pack.
What's that?
I don't know. Is it like a cymbal pad?
Oh, yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Ooh, got a drummer.
I think I know who that is.
Ooh, I know we have at least two drummers.
Matt Zappa's a drummer.
Well, Joe Cooley is a drummer. So we got at least two drummer listeners. Who's buying it? That's cool.
You got a lot of look at all that music gear.
You can buy everything on Amazon. It's great.
You don't need to freaking haggle with the freaking Guitar Center guys. I was
a master.
Well, I remember going with somebody else to Guitar Center, and then when I started haggling, the guy was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, you didn't know you can haggle?"
Oh yeah, you don't pay.
You have to haggle at Guitar Center. If you pay ticket price at Guitar Center, you are a total sucker.
Yep. They spot those guys from a mile away.
Because he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm haggling." And they're like, "You can't haggle." I'm like, "Yeah,
you can. You can definitely Guitar Center." I'd never walked out of there without at least a free cable and something, if nothing else.
Because you can always definitely get
throw in
music stores. I'm like, because I remember even buying my guitar. I didn't buy it at Guitar Center, but music stores, like it's a thing in music stores. Because I got her to throw in a bunch of stuff. Yeah. I got a free tuner. I got a free strap. I got some picks.
Oh yeah, straps.
I got a fat discount because the guitar cases are not cheap.
No.
And I got that case for like at least 50% off. Like I got her to go because I'm like, I'm buying this guitar, which I already got a good price on the guitar. Never pay sticker price for a guitar, especially for actual instruments. Like you definitely haggle because I talked her down by like $150 on the guitar itself, and I got the case for like half price, and then everything else that I got with it was free. And that's how I did it. Just because I'd watched you and Steve and everybody else like heck. So it was like I was ready to do that.
Well,
and Josh gave me some tips also.
Yeah.
While it was happening. Well, he also was like, because I'm like, this is what is here. He's like, you want that one. And so once I got, so that's what I used Josh for. But then I'm like, I already had the haggling skills down. So I'm like, already you start off by at least $100 off of whatever's on that sticker, and then you go from there. So I actually, when I started, I did like 250, and I taught, but then that's how I ended up with like 150.
You gotta meet in the middle.
So I immediately cut 250 off the price.
Oh, I miss haggling.
Yeah, it's fun.
Because there's
Can
not
you
a lot of
imagine being
places
able to do that like
anymore.
at the store?
Yeah, like at the grocery store. I want these buns. Give me these hamburger guns for $5 less.
That was like, I got so used to it in China because like unless you went to the actual store, like you haggled everywhere. Like the place where I bought like most of my food, there were no prices. Like so like these vegetables, and it was like whatever the guy, because like I couldn't haggle too much because like the language barrier,
right.
But I could haggle a little bit. And honestly, like they would give me good prices just because I was white and I could haggle even a little bit. They respected that. Like the DVD lady, I remember when I found out that like, because like I knew, like I remember I had my friend, like, I just wanted to see, like, because I knew she was cutting me like a crazy good deal because I built a relationship with a DVD lady. And I remember I had a friend come who was visiting from out of town. I'm like, go buy a DVD from that lady. And I'm like, tell me. And I knew she couldn't see me. And so through my relationship skills and also excellent haggling skills, I had talked her down to 4 kwai a DVD, which at the time that's 50 cents.
These are all bootlegs, of course.
Yeah. But they're quality.
Yeah.
Plus, she had good quality stuff. Because like this lady, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Because I think she went through one of because there's different levels like on the bootleg game in China. So there would be like the individual where they're making them themselves and it's like really bad quality. But then you had the guys, if they were connected to like the whole thing and they were getting like the mass produced like quality, like really quality stuff, if they were part of that network, but those ones tend to be more expensive. But she was part of that network, so she's getting quality stuff. But I talked her down to 4 kwai because this dude, when he came back, he had some DVDs because he was used to paying Beijing prices, which could go anywhere like up to like 40, like, and he's like, man, this is great. I paid 12, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like
you're getting a deal.
And I'm like, because like, and 12 is still that's still only $1, like that's because like at the time the exchange rate, which is still pretty fixed, is like 8 to $1.
Yeah,
and because China's
like
currency is tied to the dollar, so you're still, but the thing is though, I had to quickly stop doing that because we're getting paid in Chinese money and we're not getting paid an American equivalent. We're getting paid the equivalent of like, so like I had a drawer full of cash at all times, like crazy amounts of money because we didn't have bank accounts. And when you went to go collect your paycheck, they would give it all to you at once and they gave it to you in cash. And I didn't want to, because I knew people that did have bank accounts, but it was a whole giant hassle, and I didn't want to deal with it. So I seriously had a dresser drawer full of cash, like tons and tons of it, because I would spend, because food was so cheap, I had free rent, and half the time when I figured out like the best student places, then I could, and if I was real nice to my foreign affairs officer, she would sometimes put money on my meal card, and she's like, "Oh, let me give you like," but it would be enough like where I could make that last for like 2 weeks,
nice.
And then and once a month usually I would go in there and sweet talk her or bring her a gift, and then she put money on my card. So half the time I'm not even using my money for food.
So you got the DVDs.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like so,
you had quite a collection when you came back and showed.
Oh, dude, and that's only a
stuff,
fraction of what I had because like I still have those, but because I do because
Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
Yeah. Well, I got that in New York Comic Con. That's not a Chinese DVD, but I do have my favorite thing that I have. I think I've shown it to you is my Ferris Bueller, but like the cover is like from like kind of adult movie.
Yeah,
it's
like
really
it's a very
weird.
Different movie.
But yeah, I miss all that. But and the DVD lady was awesome. And every once in a while, I'd take her to dinner, and then that's how we kind of had this
you had an arrangement.
Yeah. Good prices. And I know, the art of haggling, though.
Yeah.
You would love it because, like, anything that's not an actual brick, and even some brick and mortar stores. Like I remember at the music shop, I talked to a guy, like an actual brick. But as soon as I realized that everything in the music shop was bootleg, I'm like, okay, we can haggle
it's
here.
on.
Because if it's bootleg, you're definitely like, because the real DVDs in China were so insanely expensive, also so rare. Like you'd go into like a Walmart, and even those ones were fake. Like. Like finding real stuff was like impossible. So going into a music store and then it's all, as soon as I found out, like, I'm like, oh, these are all bootleg. So I'm like half, like from what's on the sticker. Like it's like sticker prices for tourists. And it was great, man.
Well, thank you guys for buying all that stuff on Amazon.
Really, that's
you guys are helping a lot.
Stuff. Is that all the stuff?
I think that's the last one, yeah.
Well, yeah, be sure. That's all at radiobrendo.com. Also, there's links to our Facebook group, which we always post lots of cool stuff in the Facebook group. We also got our subreddit. And myvacationpants.com is also a thing.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Janelle's got some new material coming soon.
Well, people, it's definitely getting that travel plan.
More perks this week, which is pretty great. She's been getting a lot of stuff.
Also, check out mountainroomescapes.com if you're heading into the Big Bear area in Southern California.
Second room is open.
Second room is open. If you've never done a room escape before, it was my first escape room experience. Had a blast. And if you go to mountainroomescapes.com, use the code BrendoMan, you'll get $5 off each ticket.
Good deal.
And get an exclusive gift at the game. We got lots of events. March 12th, rapidly approaching. We're just talking about our plans for this. LA Comic Book and Sci-Fi Convention. We're going to be there selling our stuff, giving out stickers, and giving out high fives. And Derek's going to be there. Andrew's going to be there. You and I are going to be there. And lots of different collectibles, comics, Legos, action figures, Disney pins,
amiibos,
lots of stuff.
I got a lot of good stuff.
Derek's always still got tons of stuff. He's got tons of good stuff. Andrew, if you got Disney pins and all his things, and I've got my comics and other things, other collectibles. Buffy, I'm gonna sell those statues.
You're gonna sell them
because that'd be perfect. It's gonna be right before my vacation.
Some extra dough.
Really could use that because, I just figured out there's another expense I didn't quite take into consideration.
What's that?
Well, like when I go to Portland, I'm not gonna be staying with Carson and Courtney the whole time. Because
his wedding,
they're gonna be dealing. They don't need me sleeping on their couch, all
right. Hey guys,
all that other stuff. So, I got to figure that out. My mom is doing Airbnb.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But there is some really good Airbnbs in Portland.
Well, Portland, I would think of anywhere would be. Yeah.
And and I might do it because there's like 1-bedroom cottages, like $40 a night. And as long as it's not a room in somebody's house, I'm not doing that.
No.
I'm sorry. Like, as cheap as it is, like
that's not for me. I want my own
definitely
bathroom.
not for me. That's a horror movie for me, like right there. I just feel like I'd wake up and like they'd be in the room or something. I don't want to do that.
6 minutes.
Oh my god.
See if you can do it.
All right. March 17th through 19th, Arcade Expo. Details still to come on what's going on with our presence there, but you're going to be out of town, but I will be there. That's arcadeexpo.com for tickets. I'm still, even if we don't get our thing, I'm going to be there, but as it is right now, I'm waiting for that Groupon because it usually comes.
Yeah.
It'll happen soon.
It's coming.
Because it's on the, but it's still worth it. If it comes down to it, I'll pay $50 to go for one day because it is every video game you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. And the people that run it are great, and there's always cool stuff going on.
Right here by us.
We got to basically hang out with Billy Mitchell and Walter Day last year.
Yeah,
it was great.
Pretty sweet.
We got I'm going to be at WrestleMania Orlando week. That's the March 28th through April 3rd. And at the same time, Phil's going to be at WonderCon March 31st through April 2nd. We're going to be doing our panel there, the Webcomics Advocates panel. And tickets are still on sale, but I think they're it's going real fast. That's at comic-con.org. And May 13th in Ontario at the Convention Center here, we got Comic-Con Revolution. We're in talks.
Yep.
Things are going to happen there. That's comicconrevolution.com. Tickets are on sale. They got a lot of cool stuff going on there. It's going to be a good thing. San Diego Comic-Con, July 19th through 23rd.
They know about that.
They have returning registration is happening soon. They just put up the details. So that means the open registration will be following soon after that. So
good luck.
Good luck, everybody. Comic-Con Palm Springs, August 25th through 27th. Tickets are on sale, and I
Good
would
stuff coming
suggest
there.
people get up on that too, because I think those are gonna. I think they could actually sell out and things and stuff this year, considering last year was so huge. So that's ComicConPalmSprings.com, and we're going to be doing our stuff there. Long Beach Comic Con, September 2nd and 3rd. We're definitely going to be back there. And Los Angeles Podcast Festival. That's October 6th through the 8th. And we will be in our room controlling our space.
Yes, we will.
And all are welcome. And if you're tickets are on sale, and they've already announced some of the shows. Marin's coming back. Super excited.
It's going to be good.
I'm excited to give him a record.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll get him back on the show. As long as we get to go before Aaron.
As long as we go first.
I think Aaron's good now with the fact that he goes last.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good system.
All right, well, be sure to check out etsy.com/shop/Crude Ink. That's our friends at Crude Ink. They make awesome vinyl artwork on vinyl records. Check that out. And I want to hear your stuff.
All right. We have 3 minutes. Am I flying? All right.
I think you put something on mine.
Did I? Oh, I did. I accidentally did there. Sorry. I got mixed up there. All right. Well, we went hiking this weekend.
We did.
So mention that. We went and explored some new territories.
Yeah, it was fun.
We went to a place we've been to, but went to like different routes.
It was fun convincing your kids to try new things and explore.
Because we've done this hike a few times, and we always just go the same way.
Yeah.
And
we went a different way.
Found and it was
new
great.
parts. Whole new parts of the trail system.
Yeah, it like does a loop we didn't even know about.
Yeah,
there's like buried.
This is at the regional park, so
it's
not the regional park. The state park.
Yeah,
regional park is different. State park's cool. It's cool because it's like it's not like crazy like the trails. But it's like there is like some cool trails and cool stuff.
Well, and there's a bunch of loops we just found out that there's more stuff we can
and we
check
found
out.
like some like archaeological type stuff,
like
which I think just from all the rain and stuff, there was tons of like
it's like all uncovered.
There was like old cans and stuff and like the riverbed,
but like those old like pull top cans.
Yeah, old cans, like and like an old wheelbarrow.
Yeah, and then some foundations of stuff that we figured might be a cistern or something.
We found a bunch of stuff.
It was cool. So that was fun.
I want to hear Tough Tony's advice.
All right, so I think we found this out on the show. Amber wrote in. Remember that the mousetrap stuff? My sister,
Jug.
Amber. That was for her.
So we talking about the jug. The Tough
Tony's mouse jug.
Mouse jug of death.
Yes. So
Tough Tony's death jug.
Amber started texting me and was like, I want to seriously do this, like, because these things aren't working well, and so she wanted to know about it. So I told her what I remembered, but I told her I'd check with my dad, and I found out some more information. So if people are going to do this, I got the stuff I said was right, but there's 2 additional things. 1, you put about 3 inches of water in the bottom specifically. 2, you don't drop the peanut butter in the water. You scrape it on the side of the thing.
Okay.
And 3, you got to put it in the mouse trail up against a wall or a shelf or something, because they can't climb up the outside. You got to have it somewhere they can jump in from the top.
Okay.
So you got to have it up against a wall or a shelf or somewhere where they could scamper up. That's Tough Tony's words.
Tough Tony.
Finally, I got some eBay things up. Remember, I got the grab bag a little while ago.
If you go to the Facebook group. There's a link to the Phil's eBay store.
Help me make that grab bag worthwhile.
Yeah. Oh my God, we have 30 seconds to do. What are we gonna do?
I think you lost this candy bar.
I want that Twix.
You could still earn the Milky Way by doing the movies fast.
Well, my TV, I just watched Storage Wars. I watched the new Goldbergs. Is great.
Oh, it was great, right? So good.
It was good. I cried a little bit,
I
but
did too.
I know for you, the father-daughter stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I knew that was like your.
Yeah, that just gets me right in the field.
Because it was like very like, oh, the daughter doesn't like appreciate you anymore, but then you do, and then
you
like
tried, and then it was bad, and
oh my gosh.
Plus his like directing stuff, and then you found out that was the kid from the Christmas Story.
From Christmas Story, and then he was in it, and it was great. And Susie.
Yeah. Oh, and Susie. Susie is back. I mean, Susie with Jeff. And
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was great.
It was fantastic. It was a great episode.
I love that they got. I was waiting for Susie to show up in the Goldberg. I knew it was going to happen eventually. It took 4 seasons. Yeah. Susie finally showed up. It was great.
She was great.
And I hope maybe she'll come back at some point. It was really funny. And all that stuff. We're not doing this. I'm not getting that Twix.
Nope. But you could still earn Milky Way.
I earned the Milky Way.
Well, are you done with TV?
Oh no, I'm not.
All right.
I didn't even get to do that. Doesn't count as my TV. I didn't even talk about freaking. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess this is happening. All right. Well, we did the hike, and then I just want to talk real quickly
About the Oscars.
I won the Oscar pool.
Yeah, I saw that.
I destroyed. Though I knew it.
Fiddling with the new thing here.
I'm really good at doing Oscar pools because my secret is you have to go 100% objective. You can't let your personal preferences interfere because that's always going to mess you up. Because there are ways to predict. There are definite methods, and you can't. And here's what happened: people will start off doing that. They'll be like, "Well, I don't think that's going to win because I like this one." And I think it was also because I saw 0 of the movies nominated for Best Picture, but I didn't even pick. I got my Best Picture pick wrong because of what happened. That's a whole other podcast though, because their Oscar, that was crazy.
I still confess.
Phil thinks it was.
I think it was on purpose.
I don't think
it was a publicity
I
stunt.
don't. I know some things about the way PricewaterhouseCoopers works, so I contend that it's not possible.
I'm just saying, when was the last time everyone was talking about the Oscars?
That's true, but I still think that I know the way. I know how PricewaterhouseCoopers operates. I've worked with them, and I don't think it's possible.
This conspiracy runs deep. It's the pockets of Hollywood are deep. See, there's the thing. Andrew in the thing says everyone talks about the Oscars every year. Not in my circles.
Well, that's just you.
But I'm saying that all the people in my circles,
because that was crazy, but that still wasn't their intention. I'm telling you, the way they do it,
it's too suspicious. What are the chances that he got that card as opposed to any of the other ones?
I think the chances were pretty good.
Because what if he got one that wasn't nominated for Best Picture? Like an animated one.
And then he wouldn't have done it. What happened wouldn't have happened.
That's why they gave him that one.
It was the one from right before.
Right.
You just said it could have. You just said it could be anything, but it was the one from
right before. It
could have
been any
one. No, it
them.
couldn't, because it was the one from right before.
I think it was on purpose.
No.
That's still my stance.
Yeah, and they have the whole system, and it's completely separate from the actual Oscar people. They have no control over it.
That's what Harvey Weinstein wants you to believe.
Harvey Weinstein has nothing to do with it.
Oh, he does.
Oh my God.
You've bought it. He's so happy now.
Well, I won the Oscar pool, so I got this little trophy. I also got $80, so that was
awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, man, money in the pocket. I finished reading Secret Origins. No, I didn't. You did.
Well, I did before, but we just glossed over.
Well, we have to gloss over it again.
But I just want to point out that we're going to be having James. Is it next week?
I don't know.
Well, very, very soon. I have to look at our calendar and see when it is, but I think it's next week.
You book it.
I know. I gotta look at the calendar. I think it's the 6th, but it might be no. It's the 13th. It's the 13th. So 2 weeks.
Okay.
Anyway, it's very exciting.
Are you gonna be here?
Yeah, I'm here on the day. It's right before we leave on our trip.
All right.
So, because we leave on Tuesday and it's the Monday night.
Okay.
So it's right before we leave. Anyway, if you guys want to read it before we leave, before we interview him, you should. Secret Origins. Story Thieves, it's fantastic.
Well, I finished Hearts in Suspension. It's really good. I really like the essays because we were talking in our bonus about our college experiences, and this is all about Stephen King and his classmates and their college experiences in the 60s at University of Maine, Orono, and it's just cool hearing about other people's, and especially that time,
right?
Because it's extremely crazy on college campuses. Because a lot of people. During that period, everyone went to college, especially guys, because if you didn't go to college, you were going to go to Vietnam. So
yeah,
everybody, and so it's kind of a crazy time, and just hearing all their different experiences is really good. And on top of that, the novella Hearts in Atlantis, which is one of my favorite things that Stephen King's ever written. And then hearing he wrote a whole new introduction to it, and then his own essay was really good. I wish his wife would have written an essay. I've never actually read any of her books. I think I tried to read one once and it just wasn't my thing. But I'm just because they met in college.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah.
So hearing her perspective.
And she's also an author. And
what's her name? Is it
Tabitha King?
Oh, okay.
And yeah. So I just have never read her books, but I think they met there. And also there's a really cool one of the stories they tell is when she was, because she grew up in Bangor, which is where they live,
right.
And she walked by the mansion that they ended up his famous house, like because it's a real spooky looking house.
Uh-huh.
But she would walk by growing up and be like, one day I'm gonna live there, and like and she did. Like as a kid, she would walk by that house and like
That's
one day I
cool.
want to live there, and her friends like, oh, that's because it's like it's a freaking mansion, and then that's where she ended up.
Yeah.
I just think that's cool, like walking. It'd be like me walking by some mansion as a kid, like I'm gonna live there, and then she did. I don't know, pretty cool. And then I am currently reading that Designers and Dragons. Also, finally, I'm reading that pictorial history of wrestling that I got at that
the bookstore. Oh, cool!
It's really cool because it goes back to like it's like the history of wrestling. Period. I mean, it goes eventually. It gets to like the professional wrestling as we know it, but it's basically like wrestling.
Start with like Greek Roman
well,
stuff,
like Egyptian, and like where they found like in hieroglyphics and stuff, and then like the Olympics and like how the Olympics started.
Right.
And wrestling didn't actually become part of the Olympics until the 18th Olympiad. But it was still hundreds of years BC we're talking about here.
Right.
And then other things, and also it kind of gave me more of an appreciation for the Olympics. You know how we always like say like the Olympics are stupid, but especially at the time because Greece was so huge and there was always like territories at war with each other. The Olympics were a way. The Olympics are what kept the Greek Empire together because they would stop, and even if certain places were at war with each other, they'd all stop, and it was their way to like actually work, like to exercise some of that animosity through competitive. That's how they kept the empire together for as long as they did, was through the Olympics. Like it served a diplomatic purpose, which to a degree it still does, but not. I feel like some of that's lost.
Yeah,
but
more commercial.
But that's the whole reason why they started it, though, is because they're like, we're gonna just like go and it's gonna like everybody wants to fight, and everybody's like, we can't keep this together. So that's how they were able to keep it together. Was
they could fight
the Olympics. Well, yeah, like wrestling, and like it was a competitive enough where it kind of like because then of course the Romans like in the gladiator and all that stuff, but like the Greeks, that's how they kind of kept like friendly competition. And it's kind of cool reading about that, and where wrestling plays a big part. It also talks about like wrestling in the freaking Bible, because Jacob wrestled with God.
That's right.
And
man, I didn't even think about that.
Mike always brought that up. Always.
I bet he did.
It's like because it's the only sport besides like running mentioned in the Bible. Wrestling, running, pretty much it.
Hoops. Well, that one time when they played shirts versus skins, remember? Yeah.
But yeah, so it's cool reading that, and even in like the ancient, you can like there's like hieroglyphics where they're like doing like wrestling moves. Like there's a guy like he's doing a hip toss, he's doing a suplex, like wrestling stuff. Like it's like it's true. Like there is nothing new. Like this is all like
it's all been around.
It's all been around. Like and then even like they came up with like a more theatrical type of wrestling, and I forgot like the Babylonians came up where it was like more violent, so it was more like spectator. So I'm like, even then there were the roots of like the like showmanship aspect of it, and also it goes into detail about how the Greeks it wasn't just about like, oh, you have to pin your opponent, or oh, it was like knock the guy. It was about the art of it and like doing it like in a showy way. That was also part of it. Part of the competition, like so I'm like it was always there. It's always been there.
Like, and then their Greek managers would like come out and say like, "Oh, we're gonna get you in the next match."
But yeah, it's kind of crazy just hearing about like just the roots of wrestling, and I mean to this day they still call it Greco-Roman wrestling.
Yeah.
So it's like, but like hearing just it permeated all cultures because it is. I mean, like it's one of those things. Like the reason why soccer is so popular because you just need a ball. Wrestling, you don't even need these.
Just grab each other.
Yeah. I still think it's weird that like back in the day they did it naked.
That's a little uncomfortable. I wouldn't have done it that way, but I mean, that's
all I can think about is Borat.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I mean, I guess that's part of it, like that's raw nature.
They did stop that, but it's just kind of
What if they started like a naked wrestling league? Is that one you would still watch?
Well, they did with ladies. For like an adult
naked one,
like naked lady wrestling.
Doesn't surprise me.
Of course they did, but like I don't want to.
What if they did like a naked WWE like side thing. Like it was on there. You had to do like a separate $5.99 subscription.
I don't
a
think
month
I'd be
to
into that. I'm not into that. It's just too much. I just think about Borat.
Exactly.
Like, it's just Borat.
That image is still burned in my brain.
That's still though, but like they were just talking about on WTF, or I think on it was some of the it was on because so on You Made It Weird. Oh man, we're going way over. One of the questions Pete Holmes always asks is what's the most you've ever laughed, and at least multiple times people have said that scene from Borat, and I honestly think I think that is the most I've ever laughed in a movie theater. Like that I really like that scene especially, but that movie, like so many people say Borat, and like it seems so silly now because I think it's lost some of it. To that,
and like all the like stuff on MySpace, like that was genius use of MySpace at the time.
And I remember being in a crowd of people and everybody is like, it was the most like, it was the like everybody's just laughing uncontrollably.
Yeah,
it's probably the most I've ever laughed in a movie theater. And a lot of people bring it up, or because usually they'll bring up some memory or like something. But if it's a movie, if it's somebody's gonna say, it's almost always Borat. Like,
see, okay, if I had to say like right at the top of my head, I would probably say Something About Mary.
Yeah,
because I laughed so hard in that movie. I remember I had to like go back and see it like the next day because I didn't even hear half the jokes because I was laughing so hard. It was like one of those type of things. But I don't know. I don't know if that's my definitive answer or not. But it's definitely up there.
And then I'm reading a book that I got for $1.99 on Amazon called Marvel Comics: The Untold Story. It's all about the history of Marvel Comics.
They can't tell you about it if it's untold.
Yeah. Well, now they're telling
you. So now it's told.
And like it's just like the whole like publishing world, and like because the guy like Goodman or whatever his name is that like started it, and how he was just like making like cheesy pulp stories, whatever would sell, and then he hired Stan Lee, and then Stan Lee and then they got like Jack Kirby and all these other guys, and then it's also crazy like Stan Lee gets all the credit. And like Jack Kirby kind of, but then the other guys like Steve Ditko, it's those other guys that just like you don't, and they did like almost all the work. I mean, Stan Lee did do a lot, and he was for a while. Like there would be periods where once Kirby and those guys left, like he was pretty much the only guy there, and he would like, and he is like an idea factory,
right?
But like and also just the whole like those guys were just churning out stuff for the sake of churning it out, and it's just it's crazy that like. They should not have survived. Like I'm still in like the early periods of like before like so right now I'm in like the World War II era, and then like they were so paranoid they were churning them out so fast because they were worried that before they even published Captain America the war was going to be over. But luckily luckily for them it didn't, because they like just killed off of that.
Yeah.
And then but then then they didn't know what to do after the war, because then superhero comics went like super out of vogue. And there's just so many weird trends in comics.
Yeah.
Like, because then there was the horror comics trend, but then it was like common, like there was like girl comics, and then Stan Lee just like started churning out these like just a million different like Betsy Homemaker and all these just crazy like but just hearing the story, it's pretty cool.
That's
cool book. And then I just wanted to talk about in music talk real quick. I just thought this was very inspiring.
Oh, I have one book thing. So I actually did read some more Harry Potter. I'm working through that. Thought I was going to finish it by this week, but I'm hoping for next week. But I forgot to put one on there. Is we went to the comic book shop, our local comic book shop. I got the kids some new comics, and in the dollar bin, he had like a ton of the Squirrel Girl comics by Ryan North.
Nice.
So I got like a whole stack of them. Like I think I got like 7 of them for $1 each. So started reading some of those. So good stuff. And I'll be reporting more on that.
Awesome.
Later. All right. Carry on with music.
Nora Jones was on WTF this week, and there was she seemed really cool. And Mark always does a really good job with like musicians and stuff. But the thing about that I just was really inspired by, because you know how we talk about how there is so much of like artistic stuff, it is just like luck.
Yeah.
And her story is kind of one of those things where it pays to like talk to people and put yourself out there with friends, because she's talked about how she went to school, she was studying music at like state school in Texas, and she volunteered to pick up these songwriters who were visiting to like teach a workshop. She volunteered to pick them up at the like airport or train station or whatever. And one of those guys, she just like, they found out she was a singer. They started talking to her. They hung out. And one of those guys, they were songwriters. And one of those guys is the guy that he wrote that Don't Know Why song. And he's like, do you want to record this? And that's sold like a bajillion copies. So because she like talked to these guys and so you never know. And I think the thing I took away from that, you just never know what's gonna be the thing. So
be cool to everybody.
Be cool, and also like don't be afraid to like put yourself out there and tell people about, because like just because there's like, because that's crazy that like that happened because she like said like, oh, I sing and I talk, and she was cool, and then she like, and the songwriter basically was like, you need to record one of my songs, and then that song, that was it. And like after that, like she's like, cool. Gosh. And also like I looked, like I forgot that sold so many records. I remember that song was everywhere.
Can I have full like confession? I cannot stand Norah Jones's music. I think that's so boring. We saw her live once.
Oh yeah,
because it was like one of those things. We took Janelle to see a bunch of bands, Sixpence and B-52s and the Bangles, and like everybody was there, and she was like the opening act, and it was awful.
You're not a jazz fan?
I'm not. Whatever it is that she does, and I'm sure she's wonderful, and I'm happy for her success. I do not care for it.
Well, she's freaking rich.
Congratulations for that. That's great.
I just thought that was a cool story.
That's a good story. It doesn't matter like whether I like it or not. That's great.
And then also the playlists. The BrendoMan playlist on Spotify. I haven't done the Bitly thing yet because I couldn't do it. I thought I was going to be able to do it at work, but Spotify is blocked at work.
Oh, okay.
So, but you can just go to just search Radio BrendoMan on Spotify. It'll come up, or I put the link in the Facebook group.
So speaking of your Spotify list, we were talking the other day, and you were talking about the CDs that you lost in your car.
Yeah.
One of them was a Soul Junk one.
Yeah, 56.
1956.
Yeah.
I brought something else in my little magic bag for you.
Ooh.
I got 1956 for you.
You just happen to have a copy of it?
I did. That is Gene. I know the case is a little broken. Sorry, but
is this Gene Eugene's?
That's Gene Eugene's from his collection there.
You don't need this?
I have. I got 2 of them from him. Plus, I already had one, so I have one to give to you, one to sell, and one I already had to keep.
Speaking of my WrestleMania trip, I talked about this on MBWS. But if you want to just even comprehend how many shows I'm going to,
oh my gosh,
this isn't even all the tickets. This is from WWN's. I'm not going to all of these because I bought a package because it was cheaper.
Okay.
And there's 3 that I'm not going to because they overlap with other things. But it was still, yeah. Okay. So, well, I'm hoping to trade them for another show. I have to go on Reddit because I put it out there but I'm not getting any. But I'm trying to trade these for I'll trade all 3 of them for an NXT or a Raw ticket.
Okay.
And so, but anyways, this is just, I got a lot of tickets to shows.
That's crazy.
So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.
That's a lot of shows.
But that's not even all of them.
That's just
That's just these from these guys.
Wow.
From this group. And there's 3 of them that I'm not going to. But so it's a lot of tickets. But so that's what's going on, and that's what the word is. So man, TV.
All right, this is your chance to earn your 1 candy bar.
We already talked about the Goldbergs.
I gotta get your 10 minutes set here.
I'm definitely gonna go because we've got to wrap this up.
All right.
I failed the challenge, man.
Well, you've got 2.
That's the overall challenge.
3 out of 4 is not bad for the night.
We're already over an hour on this episode.
Oh well.
We kind of negated the whole purpose.
No, that's okay. It's still much faster than it normally is.
It's true. But yeah, the Goldberg was really great, and the whole thing with Erica, like, oh my god.
I cried. I shouted when I realized that was the kid from Christmas Carol or Christmas Story.
Did you know when you saw him the first, or did you?
I didn't know that the adult was him until they showed the thing, and I was like, oh. I mean, I realized once I saw it immediately, but I love
the whole reality of the whole thing.
It's so awesome.
When he has the real people.
Yeah. Plus, he produced these movies with them.
And also when Dave Kim was
He's
serenading.
so great.
Dave Kim is like my favorite character.
I'm so glad because I thought at first they were just gonna make him like a one-off joke because of Goonies, but he's been like a great character this season.
Like when he's working at the hot dog on a stick with Lainey, like it's awesome. And I love the whole like Barry as a punk thing, just because Lainey's like, and then it's like you're a pirate. This didn't work. I went too far. He's a full-on pirate, and I love that the kid that he's like getting punk lessons from then just decides to become he's like, yeah, I became a deadhead. I was like, I was too stressed out, man.
Yeah.
And then he's like a deadhead, and then I love that he's just part of JTP now, and it's like we need a guy like this.
We need because he's all just chill.
Super chill.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny. And then of course I've been watching Sword Wars. Son of Zorn this week was really great.
See. I watched the other one, but I don't know if I watched the newest
one. They help him. They try. It's Craig and Zorn team up because they think that if he becomes prom king, she'll take him back. Because you saw where he became the football player, and then
I finished that one
when he kicks the football right in that kid's
yes, because you think it's gonna be this like big, like yeah,
you know he's like you killed that kid. I love that Craig's like you messed that kid.
That sound, you might forget the image, but that sound's gonna stay with you forever. You broke him.
Well, this one now he's like trying to get the girl back, and so Craig and Zorn like team up to try and help him, and they're like, they think if he becomes prom king, they'll make. So they go on a quest to like make. It's really funny.
That's awesome.
It's a good episode, and then I watched the Mr. Business Bob's Burgers, which was hilarious.
So good.
John Oliver.
Yep.
Awesome guest voice. Guy. And Mr. Snoodle, the human poodle.
The human poodle.
And that was awesome. And then just Gene and Tina and Linda eating dog food.
Or cat food.
Cat food.
Such a weird like.
And then I love that like then Bob tries. He's like, oh no, what's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, because he's like, maybe it's not so bad.
And then he's like, oh no. And I love that they're just eating cat food.
And that they all found out that they'd all been doing it.
Yeah. Well, because then the whole reason why they even like were trying to like do that is because they found it under the kitchen sink, and then it turns out it was Linda's.
With Tina do it, she's like, oh yeah, this is. Oh, maybe I should try it. Like, I love her character so much.
My brother and I maybe ate some cat food when we were kids.
I feel like I probably nibbled some just to try it once, but
I remember, the cat food I definitely ate. And then I remember going one step too far and I tried the treats, which were kind of soft, and that was disgusting. And I think I threw up.
Oh, gosh.
I never tried to eat the wet food because I knew that was going to be gross.
That stuff just smells like poop.
Well, I remember, do you remember like Problem Child 2?
Yes.
And the grandpa was selling his kits, and there was that guy, and he was like living in a motel, and he was eating dog food, and so I'm like, people can eat dog food, and then I found out that's like a stereotype for like if you're so poor you're eating dog food, but then I'm like, it's like, but wet dog food is kind of expensive, but I guess it's cheaper than people food.
I don't know. See, I feel like you can get tuna for the same price as like
canned tuna is like 89 cents.
If you're going to go that route,
why are you doing that?
I think it's like a symbolism,
Because I remember he was like eating the thing.
Because there's, top ramen, you're gonna eat top ramen before you're gonna eat dog food.
Yeah. So that was really funny. And then I watched a new Judd Apatow Pete Holmes show, Crashing. On HBO. It's really funny. The first episode, so basically it's like it's kind of based on his life because Pete Holmes, he does You Made It Weird podcast. He's this really funny stand-up comedian. He also he had a very he went to a Christian school. He studied. He has a degree in youth ministry, but then he got into comedy, and he married right out of college. And then he found in real life this happened. His wife left him, and then it just totally messed him up. But he dove headfirst into comedy after that. And the reason why it's called Crashing is because he can't go back home, so he's crashing on people's house. Cool. And so the first person, and each time it's a different stand-up comedian. So in the first episode, it's Artie Lang.
Oh, nice.
And Artie Lang, because he hasn't been doing it. I mean,
he's been out of the scene.
He killed it. He's so good. He's so funny. And then when you go behind the scenes where Apatow, because Apatow directed the first episode, and he just let him ad-lib, and some of this stuff that he ad-libbed is just so amazing. And he is so funny. It's on HBO.
Oh, okay.
But I have HBO now, thanks to my bro.
Okay.
You should definitely come over and watch it sometime.
That sounds amazing.
It's so funny. It's like really, it's pretty dirty, but like, you know, it's
nothing less
but
from
it's
HBO.
And like Lauren Lapkus is like his wife, and then the next, so in coming episodes like Sarah Silverman, TJ Miller, like people that are, because these are people that like he was really friends with and who helped him through this time in his life, because like one of his best friends is TJ Miller. I can't wait for TJ Miller.
Great.
But it was really good, and this is like Apatow's thing, like it's an Apatow production, so, and he's always great.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's really good.
Definitely want to check that out.
Loved it. And then I caught up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Are you caught up?
I'm like 4 episodes behind.
Dude, it gets...
I need to.
We have to talk about it because I don't know how I feel about what they're doing now.
Okay.
But anything I say will spoil it. Because it's not that it's bad, but man, we have to talk about it. You have to watch it.
I actually went to go watch one today, like while I was eating lunch. And you remember Janelle's credit card? You know how she had to cancel it, and it was the thing that it was on our Hulu, and so Hulu wasn't working, and I'm way too lazy to like go and actually like change it onto the new card. So I'm like, I probably shouldn't be watching TV right now anyway, so I didn't watch it. But yeah, I hate that when you lose a card.
Okay,
everything is like all messed up.
It's crazy. Okay, this won't spoil because you won't understand.
Okay,
they're like full on. They're doing the Matrix now. Like it is the Matrix. And I feel like maybe they feel like enough years have passed that people won't immediately be like, this is the Matrix? Because I actually looked it up to see, is anybody talking about this? And I think either people aren't watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or I don't understand because they're full on doing the Matrix right now. I need somebody to tell me I'm not crazy because it is the Matrix. It's so weird how blatantly it is the Matrix. And it's like weird. And I don't know how I feel. It'll be curious. Like the show has taken what could potentially be like a really bad turn, but it could also be really cool.
So far,
depending on how they do it. I know, but this is like we are entering. Okay, this isn't a spoiler, but instead of the Matrix, it's called the Framework. And they have to go inside the framework. I'm not like, this is crazy, right?
And then what does he go and like download a program and learn like Taekwondo?
Kind of.
I know Taekwondo.
Not really, but it's very much like when you go in the framework, if you die for real, so don't die. And like it's the Matrix, and they call it the Framework.
Now, to be fair, that concept is not unique to the Matrix.
Yeah.
Because remember, like, there was that X-Files episode.
Dark City.
I'm just
like,
saying that
the Framework.
That's pretty blatant, though.
The Framework, Phil.
What's the main guy? Is it, like, Nuevo?
It's really weird, dude. And they have to go in the framework to save people. Well, because you're at the point where May is, like, jacked in.
No. Well, she was like kidnapped.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they swapped her out with a robot.
Yeah. Okay.
So the way they keep her actual the doctor. So
okay.
But now they have to go inside that frame, and it's called the Framework.
Framework. That's weird.
And it shows them all like they're all like jacked in, and then like it's
in like a recliner chair.
Yes.
Is it any more black leather?
I feel like we're so close
May
to that happening.
Wears like black all the time.
It's really weird, and
Trinity.
it's called the Framework. It's called the Framework.
Tricity.
I feel like everybody's saying, I don't know what's happening on this show. Who's calling you?
That's your TV limit.
Did I do it?
Well, if you stop now,
I'm done.
All right. You get the candy bar.
Yay.
There you go, Milky Way.
All right, we got to end the show, so it's time.
It's time.
It's Marmaduke time. I realize we're halfway done with this Marmaduke book.
We are.
We got to order some more Marmaduke books.
We're like almost halfway, but yeah.
Gotta start ordering.
I'm pretty sure they're cheap.
They're cheap, and there's lots of them.
Okay, let's see. Just to remember, last time we read it very fast, but Marmaduke was giant, and he knocked Phil off the cat bed. It was kind of a dumb one. All right, here we go. This one looks exciting. So these two guys are driving a van. You know how Marmaduke is with guy's driving a van, and it's on the side of the van. It says Elite Store Mannequins, and the onomatopoeia for the van moving, the sound effect is broom.
His onomatopoeias get really weird.
And then it says rattle, rattle.
Because we've seen some other weird onomatopoeias.
And so the guy says, watch out for Marmaduke. He always tries to catch us. And the driver guy says, yeah. And then Marmaduke, who is, by the way, like at least 15 feet tall over the top of this fence here.
Oh my god!
I mean, look, here's the ground, and he's like Godzilla size at this point. Like, look how big his head is. Like, he's enormous. So he's going woof over the side of the fence, and the guys that are driving say, "There he is! Give her the gas! Let's go!" And then it still says rattle for sound effects again. Now Marmaduke is free. He's shrunk down a lot, but he's chasing after the van. Woof, woof.
He's still like almost as big as the car.
He's still very, very large, but this one he's like enormo.
Yeah.
So the back of the van
I think that's also just bad perspective.
Well, I'm sure that's what it is, but is it though? Or did he just become giant? That's the theory. So then the back of the van is like swung open, and these creepy looking mannequins are falling out the back.
Oh yeah, they're really weird looking.
They have like fake smiles and they're creepy. And then the guy from the front says, hang on, here we go. Okay, next panel. Oh, the sound effects are great. Now we got brum,
clatter,
boom, clatter, rattle. And then the guy in the passenger seat, uh-oh, we lost one of the mannequins. And the driver says, that's okay, we lost Marmaduke too. I'll tell the boss we were hijacked. With an exclamation point like all by itself underneath there. And then from off screen, we hear, Marmaduke, come home. Marmaduke standing over a dismembered, completely torn apart mannequin. Like he took the time, because they're whole here.
Yeah.
So Marmaduke took the time
he
to
like
shred
ripped apart
the arms
a
and head off
mannequin.
and the body apart. And so he walks back into the house, and he's got the arm from the mannequin in his mouth, and Dot screams, "Ee-yah!"
Oh, Marmaduke murdered somebody again.
Well, she just assumes that's what it is
because he's done it before.
Yeah, oh, great, not again. Another body. And then now Marmaduke's pouting out in his house, in his dog house, in his TARDIS house. And from inside we hear, you're not going to really banish him to Devil's Island, are you, Mom?
Whoa!
What is Devil's Island?
She's gonna
banish him.
She's gonna do some counter ritual.
She is. Because he's murdered too many people.
He's killed too many.
He's killed one too many people. Now she's gonna banish him to Devil's Island. Dude, that's what it says right here.
What is Devil's Island?
Devil's Island.
Also banish.
Yeah, banish. That's
Maybe
not like
Dot has
you're
like
not gonna
white
kick him
magic.
out, Mom. That's what a normal kid would say.
She's like, it's time.
I'm banishing you.
We're doing the ritual, kids.
I mean, is the next one like they're in like a coven or something? Like, oh my gosh,
it's crazy.
That's a crazy one. So again, these guys are terrified of him, and then Dot just assumes like he's brought so many body parts home.
Yeah, he did it again.
Yep.
Oh, another
murder.
You got to bury some more bones.
That's Marmaduke. Devil's Island. What is Devil? Is that like a thing that I should know?
Well, I think it's like, I mean, there's Riker's Island.
I guess like a prison island.
I don't know.
I just think she's banishing him to another spiritual dimension or something. Yeah.
Back to where he came from.
Because you don't banish someone. You don't banish a dog. You kick a dog out. You get rid of it.
Yeah. That's really weird language.
You banish it. I'm telling you, I think that's a clue right there.
That's definitely.
You might not have caught that had you not been reading along all along.
Yeah. All right. Well, you can read along next time. Next week. So next week is not James Riley.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the next week. Now that I use my brain a little bit.
Record. We got to do our extra episode recording at some point
We
because we do have to bank quite a few.
We already have one. We got one. That's a good start.
We need more. We need a lot more.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for listening to this one
tonight because I went over.
Yeah.
I failed the full challenge.
Well, you got for tonight's full bar challenge. You got 3 out of 4 bars.
3/4 bars.
3/4 bars.
That's the name of this episode.
That's it. 3/4 bars. Because that's pretty good.
4 bars.
It's definitely shorter than a lot. I'm going to be in bed before midnight tonight, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I just thought I was going to be in bed even earlier.
Well, we tried.
I'm going to be tired tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's better. It's not 1 in the morning.
I took a 45-minute nap, but I don't think it was enough.
It's like a cat nap.
I kind of got in like that weird zone where I'm like, I seriously woke up like, like I didn't know what time it was. I'm like, I missed everything.
I hate that.
I thought it, and then I was like, and I was so disoriented when I woke up. I thought it was like tomorrow,
like
and I was like late for work. And I was just like,
hate that.
And I'm like, it didn't help at all.
So now you're just like disoriented and tired.
And because I had like a really weird, like, I don't know, I have like weird dreams when I sleep on the couch, but I also like sleeping on the couch because I feel like I've trained I don't take naps in my bed because I've read enough, I feel like that messes up because then you don't sleep well enough because you want your body to know that like
that's long-term
bed sleep like
couch doze.
Yeah. So, but it's sometimes on the couch I have like weird, like, I don't want to say fever dreams, but like just weird
stuff
dreams. And also just like sometimes outside noise mixes in.
Yeah.
So like I'm pretty sure there were people talking outside, but I kind of incorporated it in my dream, and so it was weird.
Whenever I fall asleep on the couch, like playing a video game, I'll like note when I do wake up eventually, I'll see that like I progressed to a point at which I do not remember going to. So I probably was like dozing off and doing stuff. So yeah, I doze on the couch.
And then with like watching stuff, sometimes it'd be like, how far did I get?
Well, that's like the Son of Zorn the other day. I'm like, no, I know I watched that, but I don't remember what happens at the end.
Well, that's like my favorite somebody sleeping through something story is my brother slept. He slept through the most important part of Unbreakable, where like basically the part where he finds out he's a superhero. So when my brother woke up, he just had completely like, wait, what is happening? And I'm like, yeah, don't even try, dude.
That's kind of a large part.
So that middle 45 minutes, he fell asleep.
You kind of missed the
and then he was like, he woke up, he's like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, you're gonna have to watch it again.
Start over.
Because it was in the theater. It was funny. It was really funny. He like audibly like was snoring because he had to he worked like weird hours at his like job that he worked at there. Man, Wisconsin days.
Man,
don't miss those, but I do miss part. It's weird. The other day I was nostalgic for the small town that I lived in Wisconsin.
Really?
I'm like, oh my gosh. Because like the whole time I was there, all I could think about was leaving. But like it had this cool little downtown. There was this cool bakery that seriously had the best soup that like you've ever had in your entire life, made from scratch. And it was like $3 for this giant thing of it. And I used to like get it to go, and then I'd take it to work because I worked at a toy store like right downtown. And then there was a coffee shop which just had awesome like pastries and really good coffee, and it was like jazz themed.
Okay.
And like they had like, I don't know, it was just really, and like the girl that worked there was awesome, super nice, and it was just really cool. And I spent a lot of time there. And then there was like this cheese shop which always had cool sodas and like the best like fresh Wisconsin cheese you've ever had. And it was this whole little area. And they also had, it was like one of the first times like consistent, because that was back when it was really hard to find like Haribo stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it was like because there's like German, they're German and Norway, and like since the whole German Norway thing, and so they had them in this store, like so I could always get Haribo Happy Colas. And oh dude, there's limited edition Haribo Gold Bears right now.
Yeah.
You can get, there's 3 different flavors. They have cherry and they have apple, and there's strawberry.
Ooh.
I've had, I haven't found the strawberry ones, but I've
like at the grocery store.
Well, at the Walgreens.
Oh, okay.
But I've had the cherry ones and the apple. The apple is so good. The cherry is good too. But they have it tastes like the twin cherries, the Haribo twin cherries.
Oh,
it's that cherry, but it's gummy bears, but the twin cherry. Well, the apple, so good. And then they have a website where you can vote on which one, and you can enter to win a trip to Orlando and a year supply of Haribo gummies.
Oh my gosh, I think I would die.
I think I would die too.
That's a year supply of Haribo gummies and free diabetes.
I love Haribo gummies, man. They're so freaking good. And then I went on their website, and there's like Haribo stuff that like I've never seen before, and now I want it.
I'm just gonna buy it all. Gummy.
Well, it's like for if you have to own a store to like order the stuff,
okay.
But I'm like, I know it's out there.
Well, it wouldn't help if we opened Phil and Brendo's Everything But Food store, because that's food.
I know they have a lot of Haribo at the Germany pavilion.
Oh, yeah.
And also, does your mother-in-law, did she get like a season pass?
Yeah, they got the pass.
Because I'm like, they have been like, they keep going to Disney World.
Yeah, they got season passes.
Are there season passes? The season passes in Florida are cheaper, right? Just because it doesn't have the annual pass culture does not exist on the level there as it does out here.
Nobody lives as close to them. Also, I think it's part of it.
Yeah,
because I mean, Southern California, there's people that live 3 minutes away and are just always there.
I remember one of the blogs I used to read on a regular basis was this woman that lived in Celebration, and she had an annual pass because like you basically living a Disney World life.
Yeah,
your whole life is Disney. Because I know Celebration's like independent now, but they're still on the property.
Yeah, it's still very like
it's not what it was originally. Like their original plans didn't quite work out the way they.
But they're still like right
it's
there.
Still, and it's also still like this super managed community, and it's still it's on the property, and you're part of it. And then like they get like deals and stuff. Yeah. And she has a golf cart, and she just takes it and rides it over. Like, can you imagine? One, I think I would die.
Yeah.
Because she talks about like going there because they have all those crazy like food weekends and like cause that's where all that started, like the Epcot food and wine festival and like just crazy and I guess like the residents get like a ton of like cool discounts and you get your AP discounts and like I don't know, living in Celebration sounds like it definitely has its pluses and minuses, but it kind of sounds amazing.
It kind of does, yeah.
And like I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah, Disney World town.
But do you think I don't think would there ever be a point where you would get tired of it?
I think so. I think there would.
But like, I feel like it would be a while.
It would take a long time.
How many? Like 5 years?
I don't know. Maybe longer. I don't know.
At what point would
depends on how good Star Wars Land is.
Yeah,
that might extend it quite a bit.
Oh my gosh, how much are tickets going to be when that opens?
They're going up.
Well, they just raised the prices again.
Yeah, of like a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Crazy, but they did bring back the SoCal pass.
Yeah,
but now it's like the cheapest pass is
it's like something,
and it has so many blockout days.
That's for the people that live right there, really, because you have to be able to go after
it's
work.
It's like
midweek.
Some midweeks, like not during the summer.
Yeah,
or other holiday times.
Yeah,
it's like midweek, and then like not even at good times of the year.
Yeah. Well,
no weekend.
We just got to write a movie for Disney so we can get like silver passes. That's the plan. Let's do that.
Well, that's why that was my goal, was to get at least a TDA job, get that silver pass.
I got an idea for Toy Story 5. Let's pitch that.
I have an idea for Toy Story 5.
All right. There we go. Then we don't have to worry about it then. It's good. It's a good plan.
I was stoked that Zootopia won.
It's good. I kind of was hoping for like Moana.
Yeah, I think Zootopia.
I like Zootopia a lot.
I don't know, but I love Moana. They did the How Far I'll Go live, and Lin-Manuel Miranda, like, to set since it kind of like takes place and he did like this rap like intro to like set the scene, and it was really awesome. And then and it was a girl, and then it's one of the bloopers that happened. So they had these people like waving around to like simulate the ocean, and one of them like full on hit her in the face, but she completely didn't phase her at all.
That's awesome.
And she just kept her right on going, because it's like, whoa, like, because it totally like
she's Moana,
smacked her in the face while she's like in the middle of the thing. It was great.
That's awesome.
And I don't know what it is. I think there's something in that, like, whatever it is, but like it like makes me hyper emotional. Like, I was seriously like, I'm kind of tearing up here, and I'm surrounded around people. Just that chorus, you know? Yeah. And like, it's just like makes me emotional. Just like thinking about her, I get really emotional thinking about that song.
Yeah. Did it win the song? I can't remember.
Nope.
Well, La La
Land song, which they were the ones that had 2 songs nominated, and they still won.
I like that Moana.
Lin-Manuel, I would just want him. I think Moana song was my favorite song from that, and also I wanted Lin-Manuel would have been the youngest EGOT by far.
Oh yeah,
like this would have been it. He's gonna get it eventually.
An Emmy?
Oh, he's got an Emmy something. And then he's already gotten his Tony and Grammy from Hamilton. But,
oh, hey, Steve Espinosa's here in the chat. Right at the tail end.
Yeah.
He said, great indie rock song. I was kind of disappointed that because, Florence Foster Jenkins was nominated for 2 things.
Yeah.
Meryl didn't win. I think it was like costume or something was the other one. But I was really hoping that it would be nominated for a song. Because how awesome would it have been to have Meryl Streep performing?
So they did a costume contest at the Oscar party I went to. And for a second, I just didn't have the time but Ross even told me if I'd done it, I would have won. And that was cash money. But I was thinking about coming as Florence Foster Jenkins.
Gosh, dude.
And Ross said, we wouldn't even have had the contest. We would have just given you the money like as soon as you walked in.
Why did you do it?
Well, because I'm like, that would have taken
find a
forever.
gown or something.
Because they're like, if you would, and because I started doing it, they're like, oh my gosh, you would have. I started doing it. They're like, you would have. Yeah. Like, could you imagine me coming in there?
Oh my god.
They're like, we would have just given you all the money.
Yeah.
And then I would have gotten $160 because I won the Oscar contest.
What a moment would that have been to have Meryl on stage doing that song for the Oscars? Like, that would have been the greatest thing ever.
She was really.
Because it's not really an original song is the problem.
Kimmel did some pretty funny things. He brought in the one funny thing that they did, which you should watch on YouTube. They had like a Star Lines tour, and they didn't tell them. They told them they were going to like a museum.
Okay.
And so they bring them in and they come in to the Oscars and the people just lose their minds because they're like talking, they get to like, and she's like, oh, this is Meryl Streep and this is when they're like going down the line.
That's awesome.
It was so awkward but it was so funny because it was so awkward and like just so uncomfortable.
Because those people were
and they're like, and this
that.
one dude just like straight up like grabs Nicole. He does like the hand kiss like Nicole Kidman. It was so great. It was amazing. And then like this couple, they like had just gotten. They were engaged, and like this Denzel Washington like stood up and took a selfie with them, and like this one dude's just getting selfies with everybody, and like because that's what I would be doing.
Absolutely.
Like this one dude's just filming the whole thing.
Yep.
Like Jimmy Cole's like, we're live on TV. He's like, I know, I'm good. Just like this is like I'm
good, man.
He's like just videoing everything. That's crazy.
Yeah. I would do the
same
thing.
And at first I'm like, these people know, but then it became clear that they had, because at first I'm like, the initial shock, like you could see they were all like, a bunch of them were like in straight up shock. Right. And then like as they kind of loosened up, but it was so, they really drew it out to, like it was like pretty That's super funny. Awkward, and it was really funny. Yeah, he was making, because it was like this woman was like, you seem to be ignoring the white celebrities. She said, yes, I am. Because like, and then she's like, who's your favorite? And it was because he straight up, he asked her like, who's your favorite actor? And she just pointed at Denzel, and she just went straight like it's like, oh, here's Ryan Gosling. And oh, that's pretty nuts. Also, the other funny meme from the Oscars, another thing to look up is Nicole Kidman can't clap. It's real weird.
She can't clap.
Look up like Nicole Kidman clap. It's so weird.
Is this like going to be up there with
There's tons
Winona
of
Ryder?
Well, oh my god!
I love all the like animations people have done with that.
When they put something
is the best, and he's just like, ooh, when it like flies into his mouth. That's my favorite.
Was she like tripping on something?
I don't know. She was being so weird. She probably was, because she was like
and especially considering the fact that like his speech was so good.
Yeah,
and like it didn't coincide.
Well, and she's like amazing in the show, so she can still be like a normal person. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Nicole Kidman clapping is great because it's so weird. But yeah, so man, we are way over. But we got to wrap it up here.
All right.
You're not gonna get in bed at midnight.
No.
Sorry.
It's all right. You're not gonna get a third candy bar either. Sorry.
I already lost that candy bar.
Or a fourth one. I know.
So since that's been gone,
so then you're just gonna
just letting it ride.
All right.
Well, this has been 3 out of 4 bars.
3 out of 4 bars, everyone.
We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. And until then, go to radiobrendo.com, click on all the stuff, check us out there, check us out on Stitcher, rate, review, subscribe on iTunes, please.
Yes, please.
We really like those reviews, and we really like you writing into the show.
Yeah, we do.
Use that contact form, hit us up on Facebook, BrendoMan@gmail.com, RadioBrendoMan@gmail.com. Both of those work, but not RadioBrendo@gmail.com.
Even though it's RadioBrendo.com.
Yeah.
You'll get it to us. We'll figure it out.
One of these days.
They're smart.
I don't know. They're all there. It's all in Chinese. I don't even know. Like if you go on it,
It's just lost.
well, they're obviously squatters.
They're holding out one of these
I
days.
did put an offer out, and they countered with like over $1,000.
Man,
I was willing to go like $75.
what's your limit? What would you go?
$75.
100. But what if they said 100?
Maybe 100, but they're not. They're not even close.
All right.
Because I went through. There's like brokers that you can like try and like, and they take a commission and like it's a whole thing, and like, but it's like a much. Usually it's for much higher, and they're asking for like $2,000. I think it's like 2,500.
Well, they can keep it.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't need it.
Need to get the internet police.
Yeah.
Well, because I've heard about people getting like their Twitter names and stuff back, and like other things.
It could be
somebody. I don't know. Somebody go intimidate them, fly to China or wherever they are.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't know where they are. They're in the cloud.
They're in the cloud, man.
They're not even real people. It's a robot.
People know that the cloud is just a computer, right?
No, I think a lot of people don't know that.
That's what's really funny. I was thinking about that today for some reason.
It's like Willy Wonka. It just flies in pieces over our heads, right? It's the cloud.
It's still sitting on a server somewhere.
It's up there.
Maybe might be duplicated across many servers, but it's still those like Amazon data farms and all those stuff is the crazy places.
When I write an email, it breaks into little tiny pieces and it flies
floating
across
around
the room.
chunks, and then it
right
lands.
Now, our podcast is floating up above us.
Well, I mean, it is in a sense.
Yeah.
And that there's like rays of stuff just if some like because we were doing this whole thing, and like if you had like Geordie LaForge, you'd be just freaking out all the time because there's just stuff.
He was in modern times
shooting everywhere, and there's all kinds of things, even just from the sun, the stuff that we can't see, but then all the other stuff that we're putting out there, like from every device and everything, and like it's a lot of stuff. But because it's because we were talking about that, like, because there's the stuff that gives you cancer, and then there's the stuff that doesn't. Like, I think it's ionized versus something else. Sciencey. It's why Wi-Fi and cell phones don't give you cancer, and the sun does.
They clean the cancer stuff off of it.
Yeah. They clean it off.
Yeah.
With a sponge.
Yeah. Well, an electrical
It's a cancer-free sponge.
Yeah. Like a wireless sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
But it's also funny when like people, because there are the district, I did ask him, like, have you dealt with like crazy moms? They're like, I can't have my son in the school because of Wi-Fi. But then that same kid will have like a cell phone put right to their like, so it's like, come on.
You're going to be fine.
It's fine. Also, Wi-Fi does not give you cancer.
If it did, then we'd all be dead.
Well, beyond that, we would have been dead long ago from all the other things that like,
that have been out there.
Well, microwaves.
Like, we've had way worse stuff for a lot longer.
Yeah. But and just like phones, like wire, like any kind of phone, and like so we're talking about all the different things that like can mess up our wireless network and all the other stuff, and just kind of got a crash course. So I was learning about all that. Well, that's fun, right? We had a fun time here.
It's been fun. Thanks for having fun with us.
All right. Well. For Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody. And John Goobang Do. Goobang Do.
Goobang Do. I dropped the key.
You always dropped the key.
I think it's getting slipperier because I handle it so much.
Ew.
No, like the surface, like it's got patina.
It's like the top of the last gargoyle on the stanchion.
Exactly.
At Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
That's like just full on.
Down.
And then when you really think about it, like how many people have touched that? That's 50 years worth of like oil.
Yeah. Ugh.
That's caused that.
Yep.
Which is crazy. But I still touch it because it's also kind of crazy that like how many millions of people, and they like probably like clean it off. They're pretty meticulous.
Sure.
They wipe everything.
We wipe things in our place, but I would tell you that I would never touch fountain water in any public place, really. But
you dove in a fountain.
Yeah, that was long before I worked at Disneyland. But even still, like Disneyland,
you wouldn't go in those Disneyland fountains.
No, because they do not change that water. There's like kids that put their mouth on it and stuff.
Well, that's disgusting.
Like, don't let your kid do that. Don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys either. What's that?
I can't have a slash in my.
Oh,
What should I do? 309. 3/4 bars?
3/4 bars, yeah.
3/4 bars. Doesn't make sense.
Well, you have 3/4 of the bars.
3/4. 75% bars.
Yeah.
3/4 bars.
3/4 bars. It's because it's the full bar challenge, and you got 3/4 of the full bar
Oh,
challenge.
you're right.
Although there are multiple full bars. Although technically M&Ms aren't a bar, but you know,
Candies.
the large size.
Full bar.
You call it full bar. That's the
Oh,
correct
crispy M&Ms
terminology.
are great.
All right, I'm taking the Twix home.
Taking the Twix.
It'd be ready for you for next time.
I wasn't even close that time.
No. Well, once you knew you were going over, then it was just all downhill.
Yeah, but there was no way I was gonna be able to because I'm like, we got to do Marmaduke. Is that a rule? The full bar challenge? You still have to do Marmaduke?
I don't know. I didn't make that the rule, but I might.
I couldn't not do Marmaduke. Our audience would get
I know.
mad.
Well, it's going to change from time to time.
All right.
I'm going to make it different challenges until I run out of candy bars. We bought a large one. A large thing of them at Costco. So I've got some for a while.
How do you have the self-control to keep candy in your house?
It's very difficult.
Like, that's crazy.
Honestly,
I would never be able to
the
do
Doritos
that.
sitting there are the most challenging.
I don't know how you're doing that.
Every day I walk by those and I'm like,
I cannot believe you have bags of Doritos and you manage to just keep them sitting
it's
here.
very challenging.
Especially those jalapeno ones, because I never even saw those anywhere.
No, they're just sitting there waiting for me. Because I know when I do open it, that's going to be a one sit down bag.
That's a one and done.
There's no. That's not like a week long situation. Let's watch a movie and I'm gonna eat this bag of chips. So I can't do that before we weigh in.
I heard those jalapeno ones are really good.
I like jalapeno. It's gonna be good.
Man, I've been thinking about those sour cream and onion.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that people just didn't buy into it because it sounds so weird for Doritos?
Maybe.
They were so good
They were
though.
so good.
But I think a lot of people didn't even give them a shot.
I love the guacamole ones too.
Oh my
Remember those?
gosh, yes.
Gosh, I love Doritos.
Why do they I feel like they make like one flavor a year and it's only out for like a month.
Yeah, they used to do like a lot longer runs of
Yeah,
them.
these short runs are no good. I don't like it.
Yeah, because then when you find one you like, you can't find it again.
Yeah.
Want to be able to go get more bags.
I'm having trouble just finding any of them. Like, it's BS.
It's all just like the standard ones. Come on, Doritos.
I'm glad that Tapatio became a standard
Yeah,
flavor. Like,
I
at least
love
that
those.
happened.
But I mean, do they still have sweet chili ones? I feel like that's kind of been around.
I've seen it in some places. Sometimes I'll see it, and then other places I won't see
I
it.
love those too.
Like, I feel like that comes and goes.
Yeah,
on
but it seems like on a regular rotation though.
Yeah.
But Tapatio seems to be around like all the time.
Tapatio's everywhere.
What was the other like super hot one that they had loved that they did? Wasn't like fire. What was
Well,
it?
there's Doritos Roulette.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm thinking of. There's another like reddish one.
Not Flamas, because that's
Flamas, yeah.
well, that's a permanent
Is that
flavor.
permanent too? Do you know which one I really miss? Also, is the salsa. Not salsa verde, because that's around still, but just plain salsa. Those were good.
Well, that was like catching in on the salsa chip craze.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, guacamole chips were a thing for a while too, and I did that, and then they got rid of those. I love those. Oh, that green powder. Oh my gosh. I don't know what they colored it with, but it was fantastic.
I still think that I did some that Jumpin' Jack was only that never came here.
Yeah. I saw pictures of people having them, but not here.
So they're doing regional releases now?
I don't know what that's about.
That's not cool.
I want a Jumpin' Jack.
I
I
know.
want crispy shrimp tacos. I didn't even talk about that. I forgot about the failed crispy shrimp taco trip.
There were a lot of things we didn't really talk about.
can't believe they fooled me.
Well, they know. They're like, oh, he's got kids. They're gonna have to eat here.
Yeah, because that's the thing. We got the kids out. We walked in.
But
we're
we
like,
said we could
I
have.
know. Like, it's just, and I don't want to be that. Like, that's just okay. I'm gonna stomp out if you don't have what I want. But at the same time, I want my crispy shrimp tacos.
I don't know, man.
They better have them.
I think they're messing with you.
They better have them tomorrow. Because I'm gonna start getting crispy shrimp tacoed on them.
I still think it's does Rubio's have like some kind of license where they're the only place that can have vanilla Coke? What's the deal with the Rubio's vanilla Coke? Or my other theory is that they only made it for Rubio's and there's a finite amount.
It's possible. Well, except that they used to have it at Quiznos also. But now Quiznos, I think Quiznos, when we went, I think it was Pepsi now.
I think it's probably varies from franchise.
Well, yeah,
to
I mean, it's very few and far between. But, we went to that one.
Yeah, you found the Quiznos.
Yeah, we found the Quiznos. And I think it was Pepsi now. I could be wrong. But they used to have vanilla.
Yeah.
Also,
like the only
that was the only other place that had
So
it.
What the heck?
So I remember because they had that, like, red pepper sauce, and it mixed so well with the vanilla.
Do you think they like pay to be the only place that has it?
No, maybe they do. Maybe they pay like
what
a
is
premium,
the deal?
Because they're the only ones.
Fountain vanilla Coke.
And it's not the same. Like, I love Coke Freestyle, but it is not the same.
Oh, Coke Freestyle, the way it's not, it's because it's not pre-mixed. It's the whole Shamrock Shake thing.
Right.
It's after the fact, and it's not the same.
Right. And
like
it's good, but
it's definitely not the same, and it has a different taste to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste the same as when it's like that's how it's made.
Yeah.
It's in the syrup. The syrup is vanilla Coke, just like the Shamrock Shake mix is a Shamrock Shake. It's not your generic shake mix that you then put the freaking pump the thing.
Right.
It's not the same.
Right.
I don't care what anybody says.
It's not the same. No, so and I mean that goes for all the Coke Freestyle stuff. It's fun and awesome.
Good. It's cool that you can do like lime and stuff and mix multiple things,
but
and
none of them are.
It still doesn't taste like when you get vanilla thing. It doesn't taste like when you get vanilla Coke.
Right.
Even vanilla cherry Diet Coke doesn't taste the same as like a can.
Right.
Like cherry, because I got vanilla Coke Zero like all the time. And if you get vanilla Coke Zero and the Coke Freestyle, it's good, but it's not as good as a vanilla Coke.
I do feel like the Fantas are pretty solid there.
Well, yeah, because they're like made. They already have that flavor.
That's just like
there.
a straight It's not like a cola. Because like a
does
strawberry
different
Fanta,
things.
like that's just
Because it's a straight soda. It doesn't. It's like it's pretty much just soda.
It's like one flavor,
one thing.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a delicate balance.
right.
And the moment you introduce an outside flavoring, it kind of messes with it. Just like when you freaking put the syrup in the those McCafe shakes are. I know they're like more pure, but I want the like pre-mixed.
Want the other one.
I don't care what Corey says on her Facebook. Like
she likes them better.
Well, she just keeps talking about it. I'm like, you shouldn't be. We can't encourage that.
You gotta rebel.
Well, because they came out with like all this new Shamrock Shake stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it's still all bogus because they can do that because now it's the pump thing and it's not the same. I don't care what anybody says.
You listening, McDonald's?
Yeah, the non-dairy gum-based dessert product.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Well, that's also part of it because now they're like real ice cream milkshakes. I'm like,
yeah, give me the old stuff.
I don't care how bad it doesn't. It's not the same.
I'm not going to McDonald's for health food.
Shamrock Shakes, man.
Well, for now, the McRibs still taste the same.
Oh yeah, they do.
And that's as long as that doesn't change.
The day they come out, well, they wouldn't be able to have because the whole reason McRib will always be McRib because the only reason why they have it is because it's so cheap.
Right.
They won't come out with some. If they came out with like a real like rib sandwich, it would be like $10.
Yeah, it's cheap meat and it tastes good.
Oh,
it's comfort food.
Oh my gosh, dude! Now I'm thinking about a McRib.
I'm hungry and I need to not eat.
Here's the bad thing, because McRib's gone again.
Yeah.
So then I will somehow convince myself that it's a good idea to go get the AM/PM McRib.
Nope, don't do it.
And it's
every time you do it,
every time I do it,
it's the same thing.
It's not.
It's not good. It looks the same.
It looks exactly the same, but it's not the same.
Thing. It's the GoBots of meat sandwiches.
Oh, the banquet rib dinners. Because the banquet, though, that's the closest I've seen. You know, the banquet meals, the McRib one.
Frozen one, yeah.
That's pretty close. It's still not the same.
But it's definitely better
than the AM/PM thing.
Yeah, don't
Because every time I get those, I'm like, why did I do
Don't
this to
fall for
myself? Because those will those destroy you.
yeah.
Like completely, they
And they
will
do not
destroy your
taste
insides,
good.
and they don't taste good.
They do not.
And
Because I've got them
Steve
before.
is right though. The banquet rib dinner.
That's pretty good.
There's something about those sometimes. It almost is like almost is like almost a nostalgia thing.
Was that frozen meals?
Like those frozen meals.
Yeah. Oh,
like that
yeah.
brownie. Just
Oh,
that even
dude.
that corn.
Yeah, it's not good. Like it's not a good brownie.
No, there's
It's like a
nothing
little,
good
like,
about
nuclear
any of
bomb,
it.
but it's good.
It's like so.
There are some frozen meals though that I like crave, like those little Michelina ones.
Oh yeah.
Like the 3 cheesed. What is it? Not tortellini. The little like curly ones. Oh my gosh, I crave those. And they're lasagna. They're like frozen lasagna.
Oh dude, I eat that lasagna like all the time.
Oh, and then what's the tube ones with the cheese in the middle?
The ziti's.
Oh, ziti is the 3 cheese one, but then there's the bigger ones. I can't know what they're called. But anyway,
Oh, the manicotti.
Manicottis.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, I could just I eat like 6 of those.
Well, then you do like your whole like things with them.
Fill it. I put all my spices and all that stuff.
All right, it's like, geez.
It's time.
Well, at least we finished it like a semi.
Yeah, see, it helped.
Yeah, but we could have done so much better.
Could have, but we got a lot of good stuff in. Thanks for hanging out, Steve.
I feel like you need that middle one, and we need to rein in the beginning.
All right. Well, now I'll refine it for next time.
All right. Later, Steve. Later, everybody.
See ya.
YouTube. See ya.